Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
After a week off, we are back in action here at Memorial Stadium for Benedictine and Wayne County tonight. Region play continuing for the Cadets tonight. It is also senior night, just 3 home games on the schedule in the regular season for Benedictine. Christian Gokel, you do see us here for the Barnes pregame. It is a radio broadcast, though, so when we go to the action, we'll have to cut away for that per BC. But tonight, you get back in region play against a Wayne County team that has just 1 win against Warner Robins, but a important game nonetheless. A win tonight, and you're in the playoffs guaranteed. Now, obviously, you still haven't lost in region, so there's a lot still out there. But bottom line, you can cross one of those or check one of those boxes off tonight with a win, Christian. Win, you're guaranteed a spot in the playoffs when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and that's big, and I think maybe more importantly for BC, win, and you just take that next step towards a region title and guaranteeing yourself at least a couple of home playoff games. So really big matchup tonight against a Wayne County team that has shown the propensity to jump up and surprise people.
Certainly, and that will fall to next week with Perry to solve maybe some more things. We'll get to that later as the show goes on. But this has been a well-rested BC football team. It seems like every time you get the momentum of the season going, you've had an off week or you've had 2 off weeks. It's kind of been strange from that standpoint, Christian, and so much we talk about in football about flow and momentum and routine, and you get into that, and it seems like with thankfully, knock on wood, no weather disruptions, you've played a couple weeks, had some off weeks, played a couple weeks, had some off weeks, and now you'll play 3 weeks. And here in 2025, everybody in the state gets a week off before the playoffs start. So you'll play 3 games and get an off week. So you really have been able to break this thing up kind of in quarters.
Yeah.
3 games break, 3 games break, 3 games break, get ready for the postseason. So it has been interesting, but it's allowed teams like Benedictine to stay healthy or get healthy pretty quickly.
It's funny when you speak about it, it sounds like you're talking about something abnormal, but we've talked about it before. Just being a coastal Georgia team, we're very much used to the breaking up in terms of the season. You had the unforeseen breakup last year with Hurricane Helene coming through, and then you play Ware County here last season when you were supposed to play at home or on the road. So that got all flip-flop. Very much used to, okay, here's the schedule. Let's see what happens. Now, this year it played out the way it was supposed to. Luckily for the East Coast, we haven't experienced a hurricane all hurricane season, but still, you're used to kind of these segmented breaks. And I think BC, a program that has kind of thrived in that situation where it stinks because you had some momentum going, but at the same time, you're going to get healthier. BC doesn't have 120 kids on the team where they can go too deep on both sides of the ball. You got guys having to play both ways, and Danny Britt's talked about they don't feel like they can go full 11v11 in practice all the time just because you can't lose that depth that you do have. So looking at those breaks, it's like you said, I think it's been very beneficial because it's like 3 games break, get healthy, get ready for the next segment. You're starting one of the most important segments, if not the most important segment of the season tonight.
And again, it is senior night tonight. And Christian, we talk about the accomplishments of this senior class. I think a couple of senior classes ago, they had been to consecutive state championships, 1, 2 region champs. This squad is not far behind, maybe not as many deep playoff runs, but this is a senior class that's won a lot of games. We're on the tail end of that back-to-back state championship game. So as freshmen, these guys were a part of a program that got a state championship, obviously want to continue that legacy and leave their mark with what lies ahead. But a senior group that really I think I mentioned it to Danny Britt in the preseason, maybe as talented a group in terms of guys going on to major D1 college as maybe you've seen in a long, long time, and a group that I think at this point kind of feels like they have a chip on their shoulder, not so much that they've been wronged anyway, just as much as we want to leave our mark on the program.
And a group that were freshmen the last time BC won a state championship, so they're a part of history, and a team that's won a lot of football games. We did the numbers, 37 wins coming in tonight in 3.5 years is just unbelievable. And part of a couple of 13-win teams, one that went undefeated all the way to the semifinals and lost to Stockbridge. That was the year after the state championship. And then last year, just the gutsy team that they had where, you lose your quarterback midway through the season, battle back, win 2 playoff games, and then fall to a very talented Blessed Trinity team. So a team that is historic for this group. And you just look, Kevin, the way that this program has been built now, where you're making these deeper and deeper runs into the playoffs consistently, you have guys like these guys who have played almost an extra season of football just in the playoffs. So it's kind of like when you look at the Patriots, you look at Rob Gronkowski's stats, dude had as many catches and yards as some guys have in their career just in the playoffs. And this is kind of what this group has done for BC, where they have played so many games in the playoffs. They basically have another year of eligibility in those games. So a very experienced team that's been a part of a lot of historic wins. But I think it kind of feels like around this group, they want to write their own legacy. They were the freshmen when those Luke Kromenhoek teams won the state championship. They want to be a team that when this group of freshmen is their seniors, they're talking about them as like, hey, that was that state championship team. And again, big moment tonight on senior night to take that next step, but a historic class and one that I think is still writing their story.
Yeah, again, kind of a weird season, just three home games. I heard Danny Britt mention like, hey, maybe that was my bad for not trying to get another home game out of here. But again, next 2 weeks, you can kind of right that ship and say, you win tonight, you win next week, you're going to get at least one home game out of that situation, if not maybe 2 potentially, depending on how you play, how it falls. So that's still out there to play for as well, which after last week's, 3 straight trips up towards the Atlanta area, people can say, hey, with technology and the buses, it's a lot to keep going each and every week to do that. And so having a game here in Savannah would be huge. And it starts obviously with a cap off on senior night in a game, Christian, in which tonight the Cadets are going to be heavily favored. But I spoke about a little bit at the beginning of the segment. This is a Wayne County team that has shown they can jump up and bite somebody. And they got Warner Robbins when nobody thought Wayne was going to win a football game. They started the season, I believe, 0-4, separated from their head coach, and then the next week upset Warner Robbins in a game that they handled Warner Robbins. And then a couple of tough losses, got blanked 38-0 by Perry. But this is a team that is full of athletes. And it feels like because we're just in such a what have you done for me lately society now that, hey, Wayne County's never won anything, right? Yeah. This is just, they're kind of the dregs at the bottom of the region every year. It's not true. 2 years ago, they won 7 games. The year before that, they were 10-3 and in the playoffs. This is a historically very good program. Maybe just some misalignments in terms of people who are put into positions of power, and then all of a sudden you hit the skids a little bit, but it is a county school. There's no other high school in Wayne County. Any boy that goes into high school is going to go to that school, and then they get to pick a litter from those kids to come out and play football. They're going to be big. They're going to have athletes. And if you don't show up tonight with your chin strap buckled, ready to roll, they can score on you. So BC has to come into this game just like they did last week against Warner Robbins, where they were heavily favored, and you have to immediately take any hope away because we've seen this at every level, Kevin. Yeah.
If you let somebody hang around, especially late in the season like this is when the weird things start happening.
Certainly. We are rolling along here on the Barnes pregame show presented by Barnes Restaurant. 50 years in the Savannah community. And they got a lot of 50-year specials. Hey, you're getting ready for a big day of college football tomorrow? Call Barnes. Should have called Barnes for your tailgate tonight. 5 pounds of barbecue, $50, 50 pieces of chicken, $50, 50 pieces of chicken tenders, $50. They got it for you right now. So if you're planning your tailgate, if you got a big party tomorrow for college football or NFL Sunday, Barnes Restaurant, where you need to go and make that happen. We're coming right back as we look forward to BC and Wayne right here on Watch BC Sports.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Here we go. We are back here. Sorry about that. Had a little audio hiccup there on the stadium side of it, so we apologize about that. But again, Christian, you talk about the developing offense of Benedictine here in this one, and just the ability to see Stephen Cannon as a runner, kind of getting more of that Cromanhawk stuff, but also throwing in more packages, as we talked about, where you see LaDamian Guyton come in. You see kind of that jumbo package of offense. They've used the tight end more this season than maybe they have in the last 3 or 4 seasons here in the last couple of weeks. So it seems like, as good as they've been defensively, still an emerging kind of offensive call sheet here for the Cadets.
Absolutely, Kevin. And with Luke, it was that shotgun-based quarterback run play, and then you had Holden Gerner. You did go under center a little bit with him, but with Steven, we've seen 6-7 different formations, and they've been able to execute at a very high level with him.
Certainly. We will come back here to the pregame festivities as we count you down towards Wayne and Benedictine. This is the Barnes pregame show on Watch BC Sports.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. and feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we continue on the Barnes pregame show. Kevin Thomas, Christian Gokel here with you as we wrap up the senior night festivities here pregame, getting ready for BC and Wayne County here tonight. And Christian, obviously, you look at this game, a win tonight, you're assured of a playoff berth next week at Perry. I know Perry and Ware got to play. Regardless, you win tomorrow or next week, and you would be the number one seed, barring even if you lose to New Hampshire, I think you would own the head-to-head over Perry and Ware, and you would still get the number one. So next week, you can wrap up a lot of things. Got to get there first, obviously, but that's kind of the scenario as it sits for BC. And then obviously against New Hampshire on a Thursday night, that is a game you want to finish strong and get ready to go into to the playoffs. But the next 2 weeks, vitally important. Clinch a playoff spot tonight, and then, of course, move ahead into a region championship situation potentially next week against Perry. So we'll keep you up to date on that. We're going to stay here for the national anthem, and then we'll step aside. So we'll go quiet on our end and let you listen to the national anthem here from Memorial Stadium on senior night as we get ready for Cadets and Yellow Jackets.
Move all head in. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game we're about to play. Let us enter into this competition in the spirit of sportsmanship and with a respect for the members of the opposing team. Please bless the players, the coaches, officials, and spectators. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence with us tonight. At this time, singing tonight's national anthem is St. Vincent Senior and BC cheerleader captain, Ms. Stafford Wilson. Our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose torchlight and bright stars through the perilous fight were the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and rocket dragging the bombside singing gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBCSports.
Spectators at all PHSA sanctioned events. profanity, degrading remarks, or intimidating.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
Violators of subject to removal from your venue. Thank you for your cooperation.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Welcome back here to the Barnes Restaurant pregame show as the captains for BC out on the field. It's Stephen Cannon, Bubba Frazier, Josh Washington, and Larson Little, it would appear, are out there.
And Cam Cody and Houston. Danny Britt saying that they couldn't select just 4, 6 captains going the rest of the way.
Hey, a lot of guys who mean a lot of things for this Benedictine football program, and wearing the all maroon tonight here on Senior Night. Maroon pants, maroon top, and the maroon helmets. Ironically, you don't usually see this on the road, but Wayne County is in all white. White helmets, white tops, white pants with the gold numbers. So,
oh, no, Kevin, are you going to be okay?
I'll be
gold numbers.
Yeah, I'll be trying to squint and see what these old eyes can get done. So we are moments away. It looks like they're talking to BC. I would imagine, BC won the toss. They're going to defer and play defense first. So that's going to do it for us here on the Barnes pregame show. Again, it is going to be audio only for the game tonight. So we'll step aside. We'll have the radio play-by-play call for you when we return here on Watch BC Sports.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we get set for tonight's senior night. Again, audio only for the ball game tonight per BC's request. So we showed you a little video there of senior night there in the pregame, but the Cadets won the toss. They deferred to the second half. So the Yellow Jackets will get the ball first, and they will go right to left here in the first quarter. Cadets will conversely go left to right. So it looks like it will be John Brenton to kick it off here for Benedictine as the Cadets get ready to go here on senior night. Again, next week they will be up the road at Perry. You got Ware County and Perry tonight, so that is a big one for Cadet fans. Christian, I guess if you're just looking at it, if Ware wins, you could still be in a situation to win a region championship, win or lose next week, because that would put everybody in a one-loss kind of triumvirate there if that were to happen. But we'll get to that when that happens. But that's, again, being played tonight, Ware and Perry here this evening.
Triumvirate, huh?
Did I say that right?
I nailed it. I just didn't know you knew words that big.
I got about 5 a day I'm allowed to use. So here we go. John Brenton left to right here in the first quarter. Wayne's got a couple of guys back deep. And he'll put a foot into it up the right hash, and it will come down about the 7-yard line. Out across the 10 towards the 15. Missed tackle there. And a flag comes out across the 20. Runs into his own man. Tackled at the 24. But a flag down at the 15. Amari Burst almost had him back there about the 12. But couldn't quite hang on. Blocking the back against Wayne. And that'll back up the Yellow Jackets kind of like Warner Robins a couple weeks ago, who started deep in their own territory, and Cadets made them pay for it early.
Yeah, and that time, even with the penalty, a good job by BC just kind of pulling the string on the net and stopping them just short of the 20-yard line. So better job on kick coverage. It's one of the concerns that BC's tried to address last week or 2 weeks ago. Warner Robins really didn't have an answer, but when you play teams like Ware, you've seen what they can do if you don't put the ball into the end zone. So some different guys out there on kick coverage, some better tacklers, and a little bit better job that time.
So here comes Wayne County. Again, they are dressed in all white here tonight. It looks like it will be John Michael Harris. He is a junior. They've been playing a couple of freshmen, 5'8", 140 pounds in there at quarterback here. Late shift by BC. They'll read it right up the gut. Cadets tried to close it down. Mackay Williams. The fumble is out, and the Cadets have it at the 18-yard line. So just like 2 weeks ago, a turnover early, and the Cadets are in business.
And that's unfortunate for Wayne because that was going to be a pickup about 8 or 9, just a little guard tackle pull, and the running back did a good job of being patient. But I think it was Houston who got ahead in there and just popped that football out. I think Jonathan Black jumped on it.
So Cadets with the turnover. They are in plus territory, 18 seconds into this game. Here comes Stephen Cannon.
And this is something new the past couple of weeks where BC's defense setting their offense up on short field.
So here's Cannon, the Texas Tech commit, out of the gun, going to throw it underneath. They hit the tight end, and he'll go up the left side, 10, 5 on his feet, touchdown, 1 play, 6 points. A little flare out to the tight end, Bennett Conaway, Christian, and just like that, we've played 26 seconds, and the Cadets lead at 6-0.
Yeah, and that time a little tight end leak right there, Kevin, where you have the two offensive linemen kind of hang out. He's able to just kind of sit down about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Steven able to get it out to him, the offensive line release, and he does a great job of getting down the sideline for a touchdown.
So here is Parker Lewis, point after for Benedictine. As the Cadets convert on short yardage, nice hold there by Cannon, who scooped it off the turf, and it's 7-0. 11:34 to go here in the first. Cadets out in front. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry.
Cash and Carry wants to buy your car. New, used, running or not. Miles don't matter. We pay cash on the spot. Fast, easy, and hassle-free. Call today. Cash and Carry, where your car turns into cash.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. 1 play, 1 touchdown for Benedictine. And just like that, they get a turnover, convert that into points, and they lead it here early on.
Yeah, Kevin, like we were talking about, another new wrinkle that you see there, just the tight end leak screen where, again, Conaway really only took a step back from the line of scrimmage. Good job by the left tackle, left guard being patient before they release downfield, and just a great job blocking on the perimeter as well for Bubba Frazier.
So Britton will do it again. Wayne running on a man late on the kick coverage. And here's the kick up the left hash this time. It will come down at the 1. Taken there, across the 5, 10, out towards the 15. Cadets there. Jonathan Black with a great tackle. No, he didn't get him down on the – oh, they're going to say he was. Man. I think the Ware County return man, Jarvis Fulmore, has got a beef. I don't think his knee ever touched.
He just kind of rode Jonathan Black on the ground, but I think even without the whistle, he probably been tackled right there. Just really good job tackling from this group right now.
I know Danny Britt mentioned not getting the kicks in the end zone maybe as often as they like, but hey, if you can get it on the 1 and you can cover it.
That's it.
So here come the Yellow Jackets once again. Did I have the number wrong at quarterback? Is this Max Copley, the freshman? I think that's who is there, 10, not 12. Here's the snap. He'll read the belly, give it inside. Nice play off the right side, and a big hole gets out of a tackle. Across the 20, out towards the 25. Mackay Williams going to shove him out at the 30-yard line, and a gain of about 17 there by Wayne County on just a little read give.
I don't know if we have a flag down the middle of the field. There's just a yellow item.
I think that might have been something
37
from senior night.
But, yeah, just back-to-back times, Kevin. 2 plays, 2 power runs, and getting the guards and tackles involved. It's a big line of scrimmage, man. And they're not afraid to run the football.
Christian, that is Max Copley, the freshman quarterback for Wayne County. He'll put a man in motion over to the right, giving him twins out to the right side. Here on 1st and 10 from their own 31.
Little hard count.
Yep, trying to get BC to jump. They got LaDamian Guyton up off the left side.
They're a big, good-looking team.
And here's the snap. They'll read it back in. The ball's on the ground again, and the Cadets there. That was Houston who hit him first, and then the big hog mollies on that defensive front there to clean it up, but very fortunate to get the ball back at the 27. It'll be 2nd and 14.
And you look and you say, how is Wayne County 1-6? It's a lot of stuff like that, man. The difference between good teams and bad teams a lot of times comes down to the small stuff, especially when you're playing in a region as talented as this one. And that you've seen 3 plays, 2 of the ball has been on the ground, and that one, I just don't think the running back got his arms open wide enough. You're supposed to create just that big pocket for the quarterback to put it in. Looked like it was going to potentially be an RPO, but the running back just kind of knocked the ball out of the quarterback's hands with his forearm.
They set up a power formation to the left. They'll put Leggett out in motion, and a snap is – they got timeout called for by Wayne County. So saw something they didn't like. I think they were going to try to run the fullback or the running back out there and maybe set up a little screen. I'm going to talk it over instead. We'll step aside. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back here as we come out of the timeout. It'll be 2nd down and 14 for Wayne County. Again, playing with their freshman quarterback. They actually have 2 that they've played this year. A.J. Bennett, the other one. So a freshman quarterback staring down some big uglies across the way. You got a Clemson committed D tackle, a Texas Tech committed outside linebacker, defensive end, and Gavin Smith and Isaac Scott are probably going to end up playing somewhere before it's all said and done.
Too, yeah. If Wayne County can stay out of their own way, though, they're going to force BC to really send some guys up.
They'll give it to Leggett. He'll push straight ahead out towards the 30, get back just shy of the original marker. It'll be 3rd down and about 10 1/4.
Damian Guyton getting double teamed on the edge from a tackle and a receiver, kind of got pancaked right there, and they let them know about it. These guys are fired up tonight. It's like you talked about, Kevin. It's not college football where you lose 3 or 4 games and your season's over. You just have to win enough games in region play to make the playoffs, and Wayne County is going to fight and claw for those wins. But 3rd and 10 is not where those dudes want to be, and I don't know if number 3 is the guy to be yelling at before a 3rd and long.
Here's Copeland. He'll move the back out. Leggett, he's got a blitz in his face. He just throws it, gets it away. He saw LaDamian Guyton coming and said, "Get out of here," and just threw it. And hope and prayed nobody was on the other end, and it's incomplete, and it'll be 4th down.
Now, Kevin, I don't know if the right tackle had a different assignment or he just made a business decision, but nobody blocked LaDamian Guyton, and you're not going to be able to have slow developing pass plays if nobody blocks the number 1 player in the country. So that's an interesting blocking scheme.
Yeah, I think they maybe thought they had a screen set up the way they let him come through to the other side. So here is Emmanuel Herrera to punt it away. 5'9" senior for the Yellow Jackets.
And again, BC going with 2 guys deep.
And we got a flag thrown. It's going to go against BC. It looks like they threw it from the far sideline into BC's backfield. And that'll be a 5-yard mark off.
I think encroachment.
That'll put it ball out at the Wayne County, just outside the 35-yard line. You got Bubba Frazier and is that Mackay Williams? It is. High snap. Herrera gets it off just barely. A nice high punt. Mackay and Bubba call fair catch, and Bubba's going to take it. And the Cadets will take over from their own 31-yard line after a nice punt that was darn near blocked Christian Gokel.
Yeah, and I know, again, Wayne just dealing with different pressure fronts. BC, with their special teams, introducing different pressure fronts, trying to block that field goal. They're going 2 guys deep, Bubba Frazier and Mackay, but that time kind of loaded up the left side and almost got home. And again, just for the questions in the comments, all home games are audio only. We just encourage everybody, if possible, to get out and watch the game, buy a ticket.
So here's 1st and 10 for BC. Here's the snap to Cannon. He'll give it on the end around. This is going to be Mallard. Mallard comes to your side of the 40, 45, 50. It's a foot race up the right sideline. There he goes. 30, 25, 20, 15, and drugged down at the 11-yard line. Wrapped up by a shoelace by Jaden Leak, senior defensive back, but Aaron Mallard just took it all the way down to the 11-yard line on one play. That's a BC Brothers moving the chains. First down.
Yeah, great job on a buck sweep right there. You had Stanley Smart out in front blocking. Carlton Hall did a great job on the right side, sealing that, just opening up a huge hole. And once he gets a sliver, Aaron Mallard is as dangerous as anybody in the state.
Here's the give. Stephen Cannon, going to keep it, try to get outside. Got a seal block at the 10, at the 5, going to reach for the pylon, runs a man over, touchdown, Stephen Cannon. And it's going to go officially as a 12-yard touchdown run. And the efficiency ratings going through the roof. 3 plays, 2 touchdowns, and the Cadets lead it 13-0.
Yeah, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. And we just talked about Aaron Mallard being fast. There's another leg to that 4x100 team as your quarterback, Stephen Cannon. And you saw the physicality there at the end. He was not going to be denied the end zone. Buried a linebacker there to get into the end zone. And less than 4 minutes in, BC 2 touchdowns.
So here is Parker Lewis for the point after. He's kicking into the south end zone, or if you're familiar with Memorial Stadium, the closed in with the field house, and he puts it up and right through there and good. 14-0. Cadets out in front. This is Cadet football presented by Cash and Carry.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium, and Christian 14-0 Benedictine. And again, 3 plays, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you're supposed to win this football game by every metric and by what's happened throughout the season. But we talked about what do good teams do. In the games that they're supposed to win, they come out and they take care of business. And BC tonight not messing around, going straight to the finishing moves here and trying to put this one away early. And it's what great teams do. You don't let teams hang around, and BC rolling right now.
So here's John Britton again for the 3rd time.
He's getting progressively closer to the end zone on those kicks, and maybe the leg's warm.
He'll trot slowly forward. He'll drive it up the right hash, up in the air. Going to come down about the 12, 13-yard line. Run back. Oh, my goodness, at the 18-yard line. Who was that? That was number 33. Was that John? That wasn't John Britton.
No, that was Rasheen Jackson.
Rasheen
23.
Jackson,
He's got the
23, tucked under.
He's got the ab showing. But, I mean, what a hit. I mean, that's basically your 2B inside linebacker right there, running down with a full head of steam. And give a assist to John Britton because he had about 5 seconds of hang time on that kickoff to let the tacklers get down there. And, man, I think Jonathan Black got there first, but then Rasheen got there and just cleaned him up.
Yeah, Jalen Jones on the return tried to turn the corner, and there was no corner to be turned.
One of those ones where you're sending huddle tape to colleges. That's play number 1.
The corner turned him.
Yes.
So here come the Yellow Jackets from their own 16.
The officials having a talk about the spot of the ball.
And they're going to reset the play clock as well. So 1st and 10 for Wayne on their own 16. Again, Copley out in a shotgun. Back is Leggett to his right. Here's the snap. He'll give it inside, and BC closed it down nicely, maybe a half yard on the play.
Houston.
That was Houston in there. LaDamian Guyton with some polish. Also, Big Cam Cody.
Yeah, at that time, you just kind of see the quick adjustment that BC made to those outside runs. You have Larson Little really flying to set that edge. Inside defensive end, Isaac Scott was there kind of playing a defensive tackle, and then Jalen has to be on the backside of it, slide in to make those plays and fill in the gaps. He did a great job right there. Already has a forced fumble, and that time with a big tackle on 1st down.
So 2nd down and 9. Wayne County going to go very tight with the formation. Here's Copley out of a shotgun. Everybody in a phone booth here. Only one wide receiver, and he's out by the numbers on the near sideline, and now Wayne wants another timeout. So they didn't like what they saw there, Christian. And, again, I imagine when you're trying to block those 4 guys up front, a lot you don't like when you're looking across that way. But they've had some success early gapping on the delayed handoffs.
Well, it was so frustrating, and for that coaching staff has to be, you can see it in flashes. They're physically there. They're athletically there just in terms of the speed. I think they can match BC, but it's just not there in execution. And, again, you're a team that is separated from their coach midway through the season. You're hoping that you can get some galvanizing going on with that team, but it's really hard midway through the season to start really focusing on the little things. That's what you start back in the spring, not in October. So this team is struggling right now just to get out of their own way. You've seen a couple of glimpses, though, Kevin. When they can block it right and get the ball off smoothly, they can pick up some chunk yardage, but they're just not consistently able to get out of their own way.
So coming out of this timeout, it'll be 2nd and 9. And again, they went tight, and BC just brought everybody within 7-8 yards of the football. And now they basically go same formation, but they flip the wide receiver. Wide receiver's only about, 10 yards, 8 yards off the tight end there.
Yeah, a lot of power stuff.
And so here's the snap to Copley. He will give it to Leggett. Leggett tries to sweep way around the wind. Yeah. There comes a flag. And the ball's out again, and Cam Cody and somebody else were over there to fall on it. Larson Little. And hold or not, that's going to be BC football. BC will obviously decline that and take the football deep in Wayne territory again.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold on Wayne. They just basically horse-collared Guyton.
And that was on the backside. That wasn't play side either. And you just try to run a jet sweep. I don't think they were going to get the corner turned on the Cadets. And then
I think it was Mackay coming up with a hit.
Ball, so gets 2 fumbles he's forced tonight. So here comes the offense once again.
If you're Wayne's defense, you're like, guys,
can you help us out?
Come on.
I guess to that end, they have scored twice in 3 plays. So here's Cannon. He goes under center. They got Smart, tail of that formation. They'll play action from Stanley. Oh, they have a man running deep. They'll throw back. Oh, there's not anybody within 800 feet of the tight end, Conaway. He scores, and a flag comes in late because they popped him 2 yards into the end zone. And so Conaway with 2 touchdowns on senior night, a little throwback to the tight end. And Christian, I think you and I could have run that one in.
Yeah, and I think, again, you see that play a lot where you have the tight end kind of run back across the line of scrimmage. That time, again, Conaway lines up on the left side. You get a big play action. Steven comes to the right. He seals and then releases down the sideline. All the actions to the right, and then you throw back to the left. You saw it a million times back in the day with Matt Ryan to Tony Gonzalez or Austin Hooper, whoever it was. It's just that tight end blocking, releases, safeties all looking the wrong way, and you just kind of lob it back the other way. But, I mean, less than 6 minutes played, and Conaway's got 2 touchdowns, and he's become a weapon these last few weeks.
And they were out talking to Danny Britt. They're going to enforce the penalty on the kickoff.
I think he might be able to get that one out of the end zone.
So here is Parker Lewis out of the hold of Stephen Cannon. They went premature on the cannon, and here is the kick. It's up, and it is good. Now fire the cannon. It's 21-0. 3 touchdowns in 4 plays, Christian. That's pretty efficient. We're coming right back. This is Cadet Football on Watch BC Sports.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Christian, the Cadets are dominating, as you would hope they would in this game. Danny Britt said, hey, this is a come out and take care of business game. You don't let a team that's struggling up off the mat, and I don't even know if they've gotten a shoulder off the mat at this point to try to fight against this BC team. And again, you're doing what a good team is supposed to do, and probably if you're the Cadet coaching staff, what they need to do. Take care of business here. Let a lot of younger guys get a lot of snaps in the second half and get ready for Perry next week.
Yeah, potentially let some seniors who don't play a lot get some snaps as well. But for Wayne, just a nightmare start. 4 plays, 3 touchdowns given up on defense, and 2 of those were on short fields. Offensively, you've had a couple of solid plays, but you've also put the ball on the ground twice and gone 3 and out. So just a nightmare start for the Jackets, but BC on their side taking advantage of everything Wayne's given them.
So here's the kick. It'll be from the Wayne County 45. And they're going to pooch it here to the near side. It's going to be
Great
caught
job.
at the 29. And dropping immediately on it is one of the upbacks for Wayne County. So 1st and 10 for. That was Nixon, a tackle and a defensive end.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
good hands if
I
you're out
was
there on the
saying,
hands team.
Good job, coach. I'm a tight end. But you get it. BC kicking off from the 50 that time, and why not try to take advantage of that situation? And I know Danny Britt's known for pooching one up, trying an onside kick every now and then. Why waste it? Just stick it out of the back of the end zone when you can try that onside kick.
And so here come the Wayne County Yellow Jackets again. They've had a bunch of injuries. Have the Yellow Jackets. I know Dawson Sykes committed to Austin P. I believe he's been injured for a good portion of the season. So they are without him tonight, and a host of guys on that far sideline that are unable to play. Here is Copley. He's flushed out of the pocket. Oh, there was no pocket to get flushed out of. That was Isaac Scott, Cam Cody, and Gavin Smith. All three of your defensive linemen met at the same time. And Copley goes down at the 18-yard line. It'll be second and forever.
I love the late action there from Coach Houston, the defensive coordinator. BC looked like they had two safeties high, and then they rocked Wyatt Estabrook down. He took the man that Larson Little was guarding, and then Larson comes in, so it's a five-man rush all of a sudden, and you have Isaac Scott and Cam Cody one-on-one with some offensive linemen. That's just never a good time for a high school offensive lineman. Great play call and great execution.
So 2nd down and 22 for Wayne County. Here's
Same
to give.
thing.
Oh, they just ate that up inside. Who got there first? Gavin Smith. And it looked like Larson Little.
Yeah, Larson Little leading the charge that time. Same play call, just to the right side that time. And again, here's the decision you're giving the left tackle. Do you block LaDamian Guyton, or do you slide inside and try to block Larson Little? He elected to block Guyton. Larson Little got a free run at the running back and just blasted him right at the mesh point. I mean, BC just no fear right now of them throwing the football over their head. And that's one of the things Danny Britt talked about all week is against a team like this, and last week against Warner Robins, you have to have eye discipline if you're one of the defensive backs, but you also have to be disciplined with your feet, because if you mess up and relax, they can throw one over your head.
So 3rd and Jessup to go here for Wayne, and they run it up the middle, and that's going to lose another 2 yards. BC just all over it, winning matchups there on the line of scrimmage.
You know, like Jaden Houston that time. But just really, really aggressive defense, but also at the same time executing your assignments.
4th down and 25 yards to go.
So Wayne County going to punt the football. You've got Makai Williams and Bubba Frazier back right at the midfield stripe.
Give Cole Schumann half of that last tackle as well in the backfield. He ended up on his back. Never fun, but big part of that tackle.
This will be Herrera punting from his goal line. High snap, going to get it off just barely. A flag comes out. And Bubba's going to fair catch. He lost the football. Wayne's going to fall on it out at the 40. But there's a flag. So if this is on Wayne, they're going to make him punt it again. No doubt.
And you love the thought there from Bubba trying to come up and save field position. Came up waving his hand for the fair catch. Wanted to make the catch, but he kind of hesitated because he saw white jerseys. You have to understand that once you throw up that fair catch, they can't hit you. So there's nothing to short arm for. Go up. And if they do hit you, it's a 15-yard penalty on them. And it's going to be on BC.
Well, if that's the case, then Wayne's going to have it in great field position, the rest of the night. It came out almost immediately, almost like a wingback lined up off sides.
That or I think BC might have had too many men on the field. Oh,
now they're talking to Danny Britt, saying you want to take the – he'd say punt it again. Yeah, he's pointing down towards the end zone saying we're going to make him punt it again. Looks like you have some second unit guys coming in on defense for BC at the linebacker spot.
Trying just to see confused at what the official's signaling, because he's talking to his guys a lot, and he kind of signaled a decline penalty towards the Wayne side.
Looks like you have if they make them do it again, this might just be the kick unit. I think it is. As I say, you got Ben Klein-Peter out there. Like
the legal formation on them.
Rasheen Jackson's out there. Yeah, I think they're going to punt this again. They've had some adventures. Give Herrera some credit. He's avoided 2 blocks here with some great concentration and able to still get off a really good punt. I mean, that ball was out past the 40 from his own goal line. And he's going to be backed up. Did we ever see the official call after all that discussion?
Yeah, there was a illegal procedure. Yeah, they had too many guys in the backfield.
So they'll put it back at the 9, and now Herrera standing.
Kevin, you call it. You set up a return here, or you set up a punt block?
I'm just going to let Bubba catch it and try to run. Oh, a low snap, dribbled back there. He gets it off again. Another nice
drive.
punt. Caught at the 40, and here comes Bubba back to the left to the 35. There's a flag comes out, 25-20 and out of bounds. Are they going to get Mackay, or who is that, JoJo Sutton?
I think they're going to get JoJo and Mackay. They could have gotten either one of them for a hold that time.
And it happened right when Bubba cut back to go to the wide side of the field. And Danny Britt's trying to see who it was on. But pretty clearly he was JoJo or Mackay were the only 2 back here.
I'll say the official had both of them, and he could have thrown it on either one of them. They both kind of threw their guys to the ground.
And now Danny Britt wants an explanation. They're talking to him about which.
Or do you want to kick it again? Okay.
Now we see some BC coaches motioning kick it again, but what possibly could Wayne have been flagged for in the middle of the field on a kick?
We're going to find out.
You got to make him kick this again? Now they're saying mark it off against BC. They're both pointing opposite directions. I don't.
There he goes. Against BC.
Legal procedures declined against Wayne. Dead ball personal foul, or dead ball holding against. He held up a sign against dead ball. Anyways, a foul against BC.
I think deciphering it, there was a procedure penalty against Wayne. They had too many guys in the backfield again. BC could have accepted it. It would have been offsetting penalties. Punt again. Danny Britt said, whatever.
We'll just
give it
take
a penalty.
the
We're going to take the football.
At the Wayne 45 is where it ends up.
So because Danny declined that penalty, BC had their penalty enforced on them.
BC comes under tight. They'll run the toss sweep here to the near side. This is going to be Josh Washington. Cuts back in the block inside the 40. Down to the 37-yard line. He'll get 8 on first down. I believe that's the first carry by a back tonight. Stephen Cannon had the other one. So second and, they'll move it up 2nd and 1. Put the ball at the 36. They'll put Cannon back in a shotgun, receiver to either side. Conaway's had a big first half of the H-back. Here's the snap. They'll give to Bubba off the end around. He cuts back inside. He has the first down still on his feet. Cuts at the 30. He kind of made a PlayStation juke move and gets down to the 25. BC Brothers moving the chains, first down.
There's speed, and then there's football speed. And when you think about it, it's the ability to stop and restart. Bubba Frazier went from a dead stop to 4.3 speed in a blink of an eye right there. They had it defended well. He stopped. Defense flowed by him, and he just turned it upfield and picked up about 10 yards. That's just, you can't coach that stuff.
1st and 10 from the 26. And now we have a flag coming in. I think somebody moved on BC. But, again, Christian, that's one of those things where I think if Wayne goes back and looks at the tape, and you hear coaches talk about that, when you play talent like Bubba Frazier's going to Notre Dame, we played it right. He just 5-starred us. It's like you can't look at the tape.
What do you coach? What do you coach? Okay, break down and tackle. What?
Yeah.
I tried to, and there was just air there.
So it'll be 1st and 15 after the
get his near side hip. What hip?
False start on BC. They'll get trips here to the right. Cannon going to roll here right side, throw it, and Mallard just couldn't hang on. Kind of threw it behind him. And it'll be 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, I think both guys trying to go to a spot, and I think if Steven had just waited half a second, he could have let Mallard clear a little bit and settle down into a spot in the zone, but tried to force it in there, and lucky it wasn't intercepted because it kind of tipped off of his shoulder pads.
So 2nd down and 15. Cadets working left to right off the left hash.
And I don't think the officials have had a bad call yet, but you can kind of see what happens when you have a lot of penalties and stoppage of play. Now everything just kind of feels clunky on both sides.
Mallard in motion right to left. Here's the snap. Steven going to give it to Stanley Smart.
Great
Smart
block.
inside. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. And he runs over a man at the 14. And that'll be enough for BC Brothers Moving to move the chains one more time. That'll be a first down.
During the Danny Britt show yesterday, Coach Britt was talking about his right tackle, Carton Hall, and just the development he's had since he got injured in the first game of last season until now, and really trying to start coming into his own. They want to run behind 77. At that time, he just caved down the entire side of that Wayne County defense.
So here's the
Same
counter
thing.
give. That's going to be straight ahead.
I mean, that time Hall pulls all the way from the right tackle side to come around as
That wasn't Stanley Smart that time. That was that Cole Henderson? No, that is. They got all these solo numbers. Smart was lined up in the slot.
I think it was Henderson.
I think it's Cole Henderson who got the carry that time. So now empty backfield for Stephen Cannon on 2nd down and 8 from the Wayne County 13. Cannon looking. All kinds of time. Throws it over the middle. Mallard didn't drop that one. Touchdown. 13-yard strike, Stephen Cannon to Aaron Mallard. Hit him on a slant, Christian. And Cadets lead it 27-0.
Yeah, Wayne drops 8, only rushed 3. Good job by BC's offensive line recognizing that. Steven had plenty of time, and that time Aaron comes all the way from the backside. Cover 4, cover 2, look backside. They're going to have everything the front side covered up. He comes across the backside on a dig, and Stephen Cannon does a great job waiting until he hits that middle window, and the football was just waiting on Aaron Mallard.
We've got to up our Cannon game tonight. Not the Stephen Cannon game, the actual Cannon. The point after is up, and it is good.
Just a second official game.
Cadets lead it 28-0. We're coming right back. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
We are back. Cadets dominating here in the first quarter. And Stephen Cannon, a touchdown pass. His third of the first quarter, 2 to the tight end in Conaway. And then that one to Aaron Mallard here with 2:10 to go in the first quarter. Quick score update, Ware nothing, Perry nothing at the end of the first quarter.
A title fight.
Again, Ware's got to win that to stay in the hunt for a region championship. Here's the kick from Brenton. And here's the kick. It's fumbled, bobbled around, regathered up at the 15, 20, and then brought down at the 26, 27-yard line. After some acrobatics there, was returned by Fulmore, and that's where Wayne will take over.
I love football players because he bobbled it. There's nobody within 20 yards of him when he was catching it, and he looks at the sideline with his arms out like, what are y'all doing? It's like, sometimes it's on you.
So here come the Yellow Jackets.
And here's where are you still focused? Because you have 14 more minutes of football to play. If you're this first unit and the way BC coaches it, you might have another series in the second half. You got to stay focused here and keep your foot on the pedal.
So here's the freshman Copley out of a shotgun. He's got Leggett to his right. He'll give it to Leggett straight ahead, and he'll break through across the 30 and get out towards the 33-yard line before he's brought down. I think that was Larson Little and maybe Houston, both linebackers in there on the tackle.
Sometimes the best way to block Cam Cody is to not block him. And that time they let Isaac Scott and Cam Cody kind of flow into the backfield, and the offensive lineman just kind of flowed with them, and the running back came underneath. It's a blocking scheme you see a lot of times, Kevin, with the old flexbone formations where you get everybody running to one side. Offensive linemen just kind of guide the defensive lineman where they want to go. But really, really nice play call there and a good pickup on first down.
So second down and call it 4 And here's the give here to the near side. BC going to string it out. Nice open field tackle by Houston. And he'll bring him down back at the 30. So to bring up third down and about 7.
Yeah, buck sweep right there that time, and he just chose the wrong hole. I think he had stuck his foot in the ground and cut it up. He had a lane, but he tried to bounce it outside, and Houston showed off the speed right there and made a big tackle. Good job by Jonathan Black as well, setting the edge.
Said it a bunch under Danny Britt. You don't run to the sidelines against BC and think you're going to win. Yeah,
too much team speed, and they just practice that so much.
So third down and 7.
Try to screen.
One receiver to either side, double H-backs to the right. Copley will take the handoff and give it to Leggett, who's met.
Goodness.
And that was tackled immediately by Cole Schumann. Cole Schumann could have taken the handoff.
Yeah.
And it'll be 4th down and 10 after the loss, and BC going to get the ball back.
Again, BC just not scared of the passing game whatsoever. Go to a 5-man front where you have Guyton on one side and Larson Little on the other side, and Schumann doing a good job setting the edge, coming off there, making a big tackle for a loss.
I don't think Wayne's going to punt this ball before the end of the quarter, and they're not. So that's the end of the first quarter. It's been all BC, 28-0. We're coming back for quarter number 2. This is Cadet football on Watch BC Sports.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at BowtieBarbecueCO.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. First quarter, Christian Gokel dominated by BC, and they're going to get the ball back here on the punt to start the second quarter.
I'm curious, Kevin. We've seen how they've done this in the past, but if this continues to go this way, do you leave the starters in there all the way through this first half? I think coming off of that bye week with such limited time left to play before a huge game against Perry and then the playoffs, if I had to imagine, they want to let this first group run all the way through the first half. But, I mean, at what point do you go, is it worth it to have them out there?
Yeah, I think depending on what it ends up being at halftime, you might say, hey, we're not going to come out of the locker room with you guys. Just don't want to risk it ahead of the Perry showdown next week. Perry's in a dogfight with Ware County down in the swamp tonight. 0-0 after the first quarter there. And here's the punt. Nice end over ender, going to be fair caught at the 41 of BC, and that's where the Cadets will take over. Caught by Makai Williams, and it has been knife through butter for this BC offense. Really, the only thing that stopped them has been themselves with some false starts and things of that nature.
Yeah, and you're talking about that game between Perry and Ware. How nice is it? You're coming in and you have what felt like your biggest game of the season out of the way already. And I asked Danny Britt about that. Is there kind of a sense after that Ware County game, they're like, okay, cool, here we go, setting ourselves up for something special? He said, absolutely. Program felt it, fans felt it. You took that title fight early against Ware, came out on top in a really close game, and now you just feel like there's so much momentum in that Maroon team.
Twin receivers either side. They'll put Smart in motion. Cannon going to throw back underneath. Caught Josh Washington. Makes a man miss. Cuts back outside at the 50, 45. Up the left sideline at the 30. 25, 20, 15. You're not catching Josh. Touchdown. One play. 59 yards and a touchdown. Stephen Cannon to Josh Washington, his 4th touchdown pass of this first half.
Yeah, fought through a face mask. Just a little underneath tunnel screen right there. And we've seen Josh Washington do that countless times for BC in the past and turned on the Jets and nobody was catching him. I don't know if there's a record for your QB rating, but Stephen Cannon's got to be way up there.
I think offensively they've only run about 15, 16 plays at the most.
Has a pass hit the ground tonight?
Yes, one. Mallard dropped
Mallard off the shoulder pads. That's about it.
So here is Parker Lewis, the point after. It is up, and it is good. 35-0, Cadets way out in front. This is Cadet football presented by Cash and Carry.
Dead or alive, we want your car. No matter the condition, running smooth or barely rolling, Cash and Carry in Savannah will buy it right off the road. Visit us now, get your instant offer, and turn that ride into cash today. We buy cars, any condition.
We are back here at Memorial Stadium. Cadets score to start the second quarter, and they are up big here over Wayne County. And again, the Yellow Jackets can't just get out of their own way offensively. Had a couple of turnovers, and obviously with a freshman quarterback and interim coaching staff, a lot of injuries. It's a recipe for kind of what you're seeing here, and they're trying to learn as you go. Here's Brenton, kicks it off right to left. That's going to go back and hit into the end zone. And that will be a touchback.
How about that kick from Brenton there? Hits about the 1 yard line and rolls into the end zone. That's what you want to see more of if you're BC. A little bit less hang time, but really got his foot into that one and drove it.
So starting on the 20.
You don't have to hit the high lofted clubs every time, Kevin. Sometimes you can hit just those low stingers.
So 1st and 10 here for Wayne County. Cadets still with that first defensive unit, although it looks like you have Jameer Lee in instead of Cam Cody at the moment. Here's Copley. He will ride the belly ahead to Leggett, and he'll get across the 20 to the 21. And again, probably just a lot of youth and new coach, but not a lot of variety in what they're able to do offensively. And again, you play a team like BC and say, hey, we can run the ride the belly, the read option, the read or the read, and they don't believe you're going to throw it. They can just pin their ears back and get after you.
Yeah, and again, just no threat of a passing game. Really one attempt so far tonight, and it was a screen. There's no downfield threat right now, and I think Amari bursts in at one of the corner spots, giving Jonathan Black a break. I think Jonathan Black plays on basically every special teams unit as well.
So here's the snap. They'll keep it. They'll try to throw it out, and that was a panic throw, incomplete. He was trying to see the H-back leaking out, but had a big face of Gavin Smith and a couple other guys back there in his face.
I think it was a wide receiver screen, and the wide receiver just went on a go route. I think the wide receiver was supposed to come back because you had a running back sprinting out to block that corner, but instead of stepping back to take the screen, the wide receiver just ran a go route. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much talent you have if you can't funnel it into something productive, and Wayne County just keeps tripping over their own feet.
So 3rd and 9. And they'll stay in that shotgun. And they'll take the snap. They'll give it inside to Leggett, and he'll try to get the corner. Nope, going to lose a couple yards, wrapped up on the far side by Makai Williams, and it'll be 4th down, and Wayne County going to punt the football.
Yeah, nice job by Makai running the alley right there. A good job setting the edge by the defensive end and outside linebacker, but the running back broke it, and Makai Williams is standing right there to make that tackle. He's just such a good striker when he gets to the football. Already has a forced fumble. Just a wonderful tackler, and I think, yeah, there comes Bubba. Yeah, they're going to send both of them back.
Herrera to punt. He's done a good job of getting the ball out, despite some poor snaps at times.
And some good hang time, too. I mean, probably 35 to 40 yards a punt. You'll take that in high school.
So here's the snap. Herrera going to get it off. Nice hang time on that one. And Makai is going to fair catch at midfield. I don't know if the Cadets really had time to return one off of Herrera. Now we got some extracurricular Leggett and a couple of BC guys jawing back and forth.
Yeah, really the only one you had a chance was a line drive, and there's a penalty on it. But outside of that, really nice hang time. And that time it's not quite flipping field position, but you at least give your defense a chance to breathe.
So here comes Stephen Cannon in the offense once again. And they will take over right at midfield.
If they see this and want to go for it, this is what we saw last week against Warner Robins, or 2 weeks ago against Warner Robins. One-on-one at the top with Bubba Frazier. They kind of formation these teams.
Yeah, flex bone look, everybody in type except Bubba. And Wayne not showing any propensity to give some help over there. Here's the snap. Cannon going to give it on the end around, and they come inside. There is a lot of running room, and that is Cole Henderson, and that is a touchdown. Cole Henderson, 50 yards on the end around, and he gets in the end zone, and another one-play drive for the Cadets. And it's 41-0.
It just blocks so well. They go tackle over, so they move Carlton all the way over to the left side and just bulldoze their way. Great job blocking on the perimeter that time. Stanley Smart, Bubba Frazier getting out there, lead blocking, and man, it's like BC is running against the air right now. Feels like a walkthrough. Another weird snap.
A point after touchdown is good. 42-0. BC out in front. This is Cadet football on Watch BC Sports.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, Marine Max is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, Marine Max offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets rolling 42-0. Still almost 10 minutes left to go here in the second quarter, and it's been I think the longest drive of the night's been 3 plays.
And that time, Kevin, it's just exemplifying what we talked about coming into this game. You knew you were supposed to win. Can you execute and dominate? And BC did all of their jobs across the board on that last play, and it led to a touchdown. It's special to see from a team that has very high aspirations.
So here is John Brenton to kick it from right to left. And he will boot it up the left hash. It will come down at the 2 and be taken there across the 10 to the 15 and wrapped up at the 21-yard line. Nice open field tackle made by, that is Rasheen Jackson. He's had a big night on special teams.
Great tackler, great athlete, and when some of these guys who are seniors move on to the next level at linebacker, he's going to be one of those guys filling in for him.
So 1st and 10 for Wayne County. They'll put it officially down on the 22.
If you're Wayne.
Well, I mean, and again, you feel bad because just offensively, you feel like the coaches believe like we really can't run more than a couple of plays.
I know.
And it's just been straight give. Can we block somebody? And the answer so far has been no, you can't. They'll put Leggett on the other side. And here's the snap. Inside give. And Makai Williams and Larson Little going to tackle him after a gain of about 2.
And at this point, you see a hard count that they're going to where it's almost a delayed snap. Quarterback gives them a big clap, and then half a second later, the center snaps it. It's a good game plan on the first drive when you feel like, hey, they're going to come right as soon as you clap it. But now I think BC is kind of sitting on that, and they're eating them up right from the snap.
So 2nd down and 8. They'll put Trips. First time we've seen Trips in the formation. Trips out left. And a snap. Copley going to throw it. He'll flare it to nobody. I guess he was looking for Leggett on a little running back flare and launched it over his head. There were no receivers in the area, and it'll be 3rd down.
So the swing pass to the running back, and I think he saved his running back's life because BC was in man-to-man, and Larson Little just had a beeline for that running back. Quarterback just kind of threw it away because he saw Larson Little was about to tackle about 7 yards in the backfield, and that's a good job by Larson letting up when he saw the ball go by him.
So 3rd down and 8. They'll put Twins up top. One receiver here to the short side. And Copley out of a shotgun. He'll take the snap. Inside give. And Houston hit him, and he's going to go for a ride. And then Damian Guyton going to finish it off. They'll give him 3 yards. It'll bring up 4th down. BC saying the ball come out, but the whistle clearly blew. And Wayne County going to have to punt this football.
Yeah, Houston got there and kind of stood him up, and the guy kept fighting, and then you had 2 or 3 BC players come in and just start punching at the football instead of getting the guy down. I get trying to want to force a fumble, but get the guy to the ground, man. Just been very impressed with Jaden Houston tonight. He's been all over the place defensively for the Cadets.
So here will be yet another punt for Wayne County. Double safeties back. Wayne's got to run a man on. They don't have the right personnel. And that's Leggett, who's kind of taking a beating at that running back spot tonight. And here's the snap. Kick is away, and again, another nice punt. Going to be fair caught by Bubba Frazier at the 41-yard line of Benedictine. So, again, if you got a MVP for Wayne, Emmanuel Herrera, I know he's a senior, but has put a nice foot into it all night long, and that was another good one.
Curious to see, Stephen Cannon going back out there.
I think they're probably going to play out this quarter, and then the question becomes, how many snaps do you give Amari Burst, because he plays a lot on defense, and you want him to have some reps, but maybe not too many.
And then are you able to start rotating in some of these seniors? I know you want to get the young guys some snaps and experience, but you got a lot of guys staying on that sideline who have played a lot of snaps for you at practice who you'd like to see them get a chance.
So Cannon, he'll take the snap. Give is inside. This is Bubba here to the near side. Bubba trying to turn the corner and will not. He'll get shoved out of bounds. Tackle made by John Michael Harris.
Yeah, good job across the board that time from Wayne, just stringing that one out, using the sideline as that 12th defender.
I don't know if they're trying to get something run for Bubba. He hadn't had a touchdown here on senior night. So
that, and I think also you're just trying not to brutalize Stanley Smart. He's a guy who typically gets 20, 30 carries from that running back position. If you don't need to, save his legs.
So here is Cannon. He'll put a man in motion. That's Mallard. Here's the snap. They'll give it to Smart. He'll go straight ahead. Stanley across the 50, moves the stack, and that's a first down.
I mean, Stanley Smart went straight behind the center and didn't get touched for about 6 yards. That was just a bulldozer block from that offensive line.
That'd be, 69? That'd be Reed Brennan, one of those seniors.
There's just the whole group across the board, man.
That's Reef Leonard, excuse me. Reef's brother Reed was one of the seniors earlier today. Reef Leonard at center. Here's the snap. Cannon, all kinds of time. Going to let one fly. There's Bubba. He's wide open and caught and touchdown. That's not fair. And that was just like you would run it in practice. Just run the go, wait, throw it, touchdown. Bubba Frazier.
And you go 4 wide, and you can see man-to-man coverage, no safety high, and we got a late flag, but no safety high there, and I think they're going to get a flag on Wayne County's coaching staff because they were upset about the celebration. But
sideline
warning, yeah. But Bubba Frazier one-on-one on a post with anybody in high school football. You're taking that shot. Great job by the offensive line again, giving Stephen Cannon some time to sit back there and let that one develop, and then just a strike from Stephen. Maybe a half a second late, but you just don't want to overthrow Bubba in that situation. And then I don't know how Bubba stayed on his feet, but he did.
And again, maybe that's the play that gets you out of the game. You got some of these seniors, a couple of the touchdowns. I think we talked about it here in the later weeks. You've had Conaway's got 2 now this game. Bubba's got 1. Here's the kick. It's good. It's 49-0. But Stephen Cannon, that's 5 touchdown passes in the first half for Stephen?
I believe so. You've had 1 to Bubba, 1 to Aaron, 2 to Conaway.
He ran for 1.
And 1 to Josh Washington. So 6 touchdowns in the first half.
That'll play. Still 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Needless to say, I don't even think you're going to have to ask the Wayne coaching staff if they want running clock in the second half. Yes. And for Wayne, again, you say, well, they still, again, that New Hampstead game should be circled in like triple highlighter. Guys, if you win that game, Wayne can still make the playoffs. And what a mark that would be going forward to say, hey, yes, we only won 2 games, but under the rules, we made the playoffs.
And I'll say this. You got 1 more year guaranteed in this region. coming up next season, and then potentially you can get some realignment.
Again, next year they go to the power ranking.
Yeah,
so
but in terms of who plays in the region, do not be surprised if they get the right person in there at head coach if Wayne turns this around rapidly. It is not a lack of talent.
again, they've been beaten up and injured. And
I mean, Kevin, we see teams every week. You look at these guys, it's a good-looking football team.
here's Brenton again up the right side this time. Going to be caught at the 5. Out across the 10, coming towards the 15. Breaks a tackle, going to get out to the 20. Runs into his own man, slung down at the 23-24-yard line. Tackle made by Omari Burse. And that's where Wayne will take over, 1st and 10. Still got that starting unit in on defense there, Christian. You're rotating some guys. You got Cole Schumann, and it looks like
I think Jackson's in there at one of the linebacker spots.
Is that Reed Brennan in there at one of the linebacker spots? I think it is. No, that's Connor Rawlings, number 53, one of those seniors. He's in at linebacker. So you're seeing some of those seniors trickle in there, but I think Connor is one of the only non-regulars out there. So Connor getting some run here with the first unit.
Yeah, 2 backup linebackers in there right now.
So here's the snap. They'll give it straight ahead, and tackle's going to be made by Cam Cody. Rawlings was in there to clean it up. So, hey, flow to the football, big man, and he's getting some snaps here on Friday night.
And I think this is cool. Just start getting some of these guys who have played so many scout team reps and have just been such a big part of BC's history involved, and get out there, get those snaps, and earn those letters.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10, no gain.
I think Wayne now just taking time, working the clock, no rush whatsoever.
Yeah, they'll change running backs here. This will be Fulmore. And the snap and the give to Fulmore, working here near side, running the alley, and there's a nice open field tackle. The cleanup by JoJo Sutton, initially hit by Wyatt Esterbrook running the lane. And again, you're just not turning the corner. No gain, 3rd and 10.
No, great job, Wyatt, laying out to force that one even further back. And then, like you said, JoJo Sutton laying the boom at the end.
And again, Wayne, you got a freshman quarterback, so limited here.
You're down 49-0, man. Sling it around. I mean, at least one big play action shot.
I mean, you know BC's selling out.
Yeah. Like right
Problem
here.
is, do you think, can you block it long enough for the young man to get one off?
Yeah, it's 3rd and 10. Do you just hand it up the middle again and let him get devoured, or just try something?
So here's Copley. He'll
There you go.
straight drop men in his face. They were trying to set up the screen and didn't have enough time to get to the screen. That was Cam Cody, Gavin Smith, LaDamian Guyton all in his face before he knew what was happening.
I think they had enough time. I just don't know why they're taking so long to develop these, where it's the running backs trying to get 10, 15 yards down the field before they throw it to them, turn around at the line of scrimmage, wait for it, and then make a play. The poor quarterback's having to buy time, and the screen pass ends up being 20, 25 yards.
So here is a punt from Emmanuel Herrera again.
It looks like Stephen Cannon's got his helmet on.
And at this point, you say of the seniors that play a lot on offense, who doesn't have a touchdown or a big play? Herrera going to let this wind down. He'll kick it. High end over end. Bubba going to catch it at the BC 47 across the 50, 45. Still on his feet, and he'll just step out of bounds. And a flag comes out. Late hit out of bounds. They're going to tag number 11, who I don't have on my roster, with a late hit out of bounds.
Yeah, that was just frustration. Bubba stepped out of bounds, and then the guy comes up and
Wasn't
thumps
necessarily
him.
a hard hit, but just enough of a
very
contact.
clearly 2 seconds after Bubba had already been out of bounds. And so those are the scary ones, because you have a guy who's just completely relaxed, and then all of a sudden he's getting smacked on the sideline. That's where injuries happen.
So still that starting offensive unit out there. Maybe we do have a few changes on the offensive line. Nope, Noah Brainerd out there. Take another look here.
I'll say this. The offensive huddles are starting to get bigger and bigger, so you know there's some guys who are getting ready to go in listening to what the play calls are.
Yeah, they still got Reef Leonard in there at center. Still the same offensive line. Stephen Cannon out there with Stanley Smart, tail of the formation. They'll give it to Stanley straight ahead, and he'll get towards the 25. So give Stanley a gain of about 4 on first down. It'll be second down and 6.
The one guy who hasn't found the end zone. Aaron's gotten in there. Conaway's gotten in there. Josh Washington, Bubba. They want Stanley
Cole
Smart
Henderson.
to get one. Yeah.
So here is Cannon on 2nd and 6.
All right, so
Wayne County is
2
not
high
lined up.
safeties.
They'll motion Stanley out in the slot. They catch it, Cole Henderson, and Henderson going to be tackled at the 11, but that's enough for a first down. BC Brothers moving the chains, first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11.
Yeah, if I'm Henderson, that's a great catch, but I'm talking to Steven and saying, brother, against Perry, I might get decapitated if you throw that one. Just a little slant pass there, and Steven chose the first window. Just a great job of holding on to the football.
Out of the shotgun, 4 wides. Here's the snap. Cannon going to roll to his right. Steven going to throw it short, going to be caught underneath, and that was Henderson again.
Yeah.
He gets shoved out of bounds at about the 3, short of a first down. It'll be second down and 1.
That's a very dangerous pass to throw, and I'm glad Steven took his time before he did. That's supposed to be something that draws a corner up, and then Bubba was going to come behind on the fade. The corner just kind of sat and then drifted backwards, but a lot of times against a good corner, that's kind of bait for you to throw that button hook, and as soon as you start to throw, he's going to dive in on it. But Steven did a good job looking him off and then coming back to the wide receiver.
Inside 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Cannon in a shotgun. They'll put Mallard in motion. They'll give it inside. This is Smart. Stanley straight ahead. There's his touchdown. A 4-yard plunge for Stanley Smart. And the Cadets tack on some more. Fire the cannon if you got enough powder over there.
We might be running out of munitions.
Working on their timing over there.
And listen, ecstatic for how well BC's playing. In no universe should Wayne be down to any team 55-0. I don't care what level of high school football they're playing against. That's too proud of a program.
So here is Parker Lewis, point after. He kicks it up, and it is right through there and good. 56-0. Cadets out in front will step aside. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets rolling big. And again, John Britton will kick it off yet again. We'll see what defensively it looks like. You got a lot of guys still with the helmets on down there. Well, Damian Guyton, you see Makai Williams still got a helmet on. I just can't imagine you go in the locker room and say, we need these guys to play more tonight ahead of Perry next week.
That feels like disaster for me.
You got 127 guys standing over here on the sideline that be willing to run out the last 2 quarters. Into the end zone it goes.
There you go.
So Brenton finds the end zone. And here comes the defense again. All the starters back out there except for, it's going to be Reed Brennan, one of those seniors in at linebacker, wearing number 30. So the last couple of series, you've rotated a couple of seniors in at linebacker. Last series, it was Connor Rawlings. Now it's Reed Brennan.
Yeah, I think he's really your only backup in there because Jackson's kind of your third linebacker.
Right.
And then you have Jameer Lee, Cam Cody, Isaac Scott, all out there, and Guyton. So yeah, I think they're just going to play out this first half here. And Stephen Cannon's on the iPad right now talking to the offensive staff, so I think he's getting ready to go back in.
I'm wondering if we're going to see Coach DePhillips up here in the second half.
Maybe let Coach Collins call the plays in the second half.
So out of a shotgun on 1st and 10 from the 20. Here's the snap to give to Leggett straight ahead, and that goes absolutely nowhere. Jameer League. Oh, Cam Cody. Good. Oh, man, the flag comes in. They're going to get Cam, who was riding the back of the running back, for unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, they blew the whistle, and Cam kind of picked up and body slammed the kid, and just can't do stuff like that.
And those are the type of things that won't hurt you tonight, but have, quite frankly, Christian, plagued the Cadets all year long.
That's what
and has cost them against Colquitt and some other teams.
You had basically made it through 2 quarters without a personal foul, and now you're perfect on the season for having a personal foul in every game still. That's a streak that Danny Britt wants to break.
So that'll give Wayne a first down. This is maybe, I think, their second first down. Might be their first. I'm trying to think back.
No, they've had a penalty.
So 1st and 10 for Wayne County. Everybody in tight on the formation out of the shotgun. They'll give it inside, and that goes nowhere. Just maroon helmets flowing straight to the running back. And again, this is one where young quarterback, if you had any confidence in him to pull it and run, could be effective, because right now everybody's just keying on the running back and going right after him.
I know you've kind of tested the waters on the outside, but man, you're just getting mauled on the inside. It's got to be something more creative than we're just going to try to pound between guard tackle.
Wayne in no hurry here to snap the football. Down to 15 on the play clock. Again, dealing with a young quarterback themselves. As we mentioned, in 2 freshmen have shared time at quarterback for Wayne. Here's the snap, inside give, and again, Cam Cody is just feasting. That's another tackle for loss.
It's the same play over and over and over and over again. I know it's frustrating when you have injuries, but man, you got to have a little bit of a change up to the fastball.
I think they've tried to run some delayed screens and stuff, but they just can't block it, and or not get enough timing. Yeah,
but I mean, I got a play call where it's 99. It's all goes.
Well, you got a freshman quarterback. You look at the wide receiver here to the near side, 6 foot tall, 150 pounds, but a freshman.
Yep.
So you got a lot of young guys who are out here playing. You got a receiver in the slot who's a junior.
I just know how I'm a running back. I'm forming a union because this is hazardous work conditions.
And they'll give it tail of the pistol, and he slides down, got tackled right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll be 4th down and 10. Tackle made by Rasheen Jackson, and here comes the hardest working punter in America.
And no timeout from Danny Britt. I think he's okay letting this one go to halftime.
Well, they're going to get the ball back with about 10 seconds if they just started the play clock. And we will have a running clock in the second half for sure. So second half should take about 25 minutes, seemingly. So here's Herrera on the punt, still 15 on the play clock. I think they're going to wait for this to go all the way down. And BC's got the safe return on. Here's the snap. Punt, worst punt of the night, maybe off the side of the foot, caught by Micaiah Williams at the 45 with 13.7 left to go in the half. Somebody lost a helmet for BC. That was Rasheen Jackson. And now we got some barking and chirping going on, and cooler heads prevail. And
yeah, nice job by Austin Kennard getting in there and pushing a couple of Wayne County guys away. And you had Micaiah Williams walk up to LaDamian Guyton and say, "You walk away too," because there was some jawing going on.
So ball's going to be on the BC 45. You got the first unit in here, Christian. Are you taking a knee or saying, Steven, just throw it? I mean, why would you put the first unit out here to take a knee?
Yeah, I mean, they're not in victory formation. Maybe just a handoff, run it out, or do you let the guys see if they can run past somebody, go max protect?
They got 2 receivers up top. Here's Cannon out of a shotgun. Josh Washington in rocket motion. They'll give it to Josh. He'll try to turn the corner at the 50 and pushed out of bounds at the 45 of Wayne. And there'll be 7 seconds left. And that is a BC Brothers moving. Or it should be. Nope, it's going to be a half a yard short. I thought they were going to.
I think Coach DePhillips had 2 thoughts there. Is either A, Josh takes this for a touchdown, or B, he gets tackled, run out the clock, we're out. Third option, he ran out of bounds, so you got to run another play here. I think they're going to say it's a first down.
Yeah, they're going to move. Okay, so crank up the moving truck for BC Brothers Moving and
Call
move the
John
chains.
Farrell. We got to move.
Trips up top. 7 seconds to go here in the half. Cannon in a shotgun. They'll put Mallard in motion. Here's the snap. They'll give to Stanley. No, Steven's going to keep it. He comes here to the near side. Flag's going to come out. And out of bounds at the 40. Another flag comes out. I think they grabbed the face mask of Cannon on the way by. 1.1 seconds. And flags out after the play. Some jawing back and forth.
That might be a Carton Hall.
And this is what you worry about if you're Danny Britt. You're up huge. And, guys, quit. The other team is frustrated.
Yeah.
Quit buying in. And this is going to be about 13 offsetting penalties and a face mask on Stephen Cannon.
I think they might get Stanley Smart on a hold.
Then you have two flags for separate things on the near side. A face mask for sure against Wayne, and two flags on the far side, probably going to be offsetting. And depending on what this other one is.
Dead ball, though.
Let's see. He's got a lot to do here because there was flags for multiple different things. There's a lot for them to sort out with just 1 second left to go in the half.
So if you have penalties against both teams during the play, those will offset, but it just depends who got the dead ball penalty. And it looks like it was on Wayne.
Personal foul, face mask against Wayne. Unsportsmanlike against Benedictine. And he's going to offset.
Yeah, they missed a flag in there somewhere. I think they're just like, whatever, let's just reset it and play.
Because I thought there was a second flag that came out, as you said, probably a hold on BC at some point.
So I think the ones, because they had forced both of those penalties.
And now cadets are going to go safe and kneel on it and get out of here. Now I think if you're Danny Britt after the drawing, he's like, hey, we don't need anybody getting thrown out of a game, having to miss. Well, you got.
There we go.
They got too many guys on the field. Now Benedictine says, like, all this to kneel on the football. There's the snap to Cannon. He'll take a knee. That's the first negative play all night long for the cadets. And they'll go to the half, 56-0. Offensive coaches close the windows in the booth. I don't think they're coming back. And we'll go to halftime. And the Bernard Williams halftime report. Christian Gokel will have a running clock in the second half. So senior night's been a good one thus far. 56-0. This is cadet football on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
$56-0 here at the half, Christian Gokel, and it's been obviously an offensive showcase for BC as we start the Bernard Williams Insurance halftime report. Pretty much everybody who's been a skill position guy tonight has scored a touchdown that has started for BC. I'm trying to think. I think everybody has. Stephen Cannon with 6 touchdowns in the first half. We kind of Mallard, Josh Washington, Bubba, Conaway, Stanley Smart,
Henderson,
and Cole Henderson. So I think that covers everybody. Got a touchdown tonight in that first half. Defense with a turnover early, set things up, got things rolling, and then I think Wayne with just 1 first down, that be a penalty. Actually, I think both first downs. Do you have 2 first downs? They both came via penalty
2
tonight.
Yep.
So cadets pitching a shutout really to to say Wayne's one-dimensional offensively might be putting it nice. They really only run 3 or 4 plays at most, left, right, and maybe a little delay give, and BC just pinning their ears back on defense. And now, Christian, we thought maybe left the starters in a little bit longer with Perry next week. Can't imagine you'd give them the one series. He got a little chippy there at the end of the first half. Can't imagine you even give them the one series. Can't afford to have somebody ejected for something and not get to play next week. So I would imagine we're going to see a lot of seniors that don't normally get to play, a lot of guys down the depth chart that don't normally get to play coming up here in the second half.
Yeah, and that's the hope, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw at least some of the starters come out there, because that's typically what we see is you put the first unit out there, they run a play, and then you sub 2 guys on. And the next play, you sub 2 more guys on. So a few plays into that series, you see a fully new unit out there, but you just kind of let them get in there and start executing. But give a lot of credit to that first unit because, man, they played with their hair on fire in that first half. And if I had to imagine, a lot of that is, hey, we want to see our guys get a chance to go out there and play in the second half. It's going to be quick. We've talked about it before. Running clock, it's 2 12-minute quarters. It's going to be 24 minutes. That's how long it's going to take to get through that second half. So not a ton of snaps to go around in that second half, but hopefully you can see some of those seniors who haven't really had a chance to play get out there and make their mark. And then some of the young guys, it's one of my favorite moments is when you get to see that C-team group where it's the freshmen and the sophomores get out there led by quarterback Thomas Brennan and sling the football around a little bit. Coach Collins down there calling the plays for him because he's the one who calls the plays for him and is their head coach. So there's a lot of guys who have done so much for this program that have a chance to go out there and finally play on Friday nights.
Certainly, and again, you don't want to get anybody injured. And as Christian said, with the running clock, it'll run on a touchdown. It'll run on change of possession pretty much unless you physically call timeout or there's an injury. That clock is going to roll. So it should be very quick. And, again, a lot of times you say, well, you didn't get a lot of playing time because you run 3 or 4 plays and literally 5 minutes could run off depending on how slow you're getting the plays in and whatnot. So Cadets up big here. Ware and Perry tied at 7 right now. A lot of eyeballs after this one going to go to that one. If Ware wins, that will give Perry a loss in the region, which means next week a win. You're clearly the region champs because you would have the head-to-head over everybody but New Hampstead. New Hampstead already has too many losses. So even if you lose to New Hampstead, you're still region champs. And, again, a lot on the line there. You start looking ahead to that, and it's all huge up there in Perry next week. I think if Ware wins tonight, Christian, even with a loss, that sets up the 3-way 1-loss situation. You could still be region champs. It makes it a little more muddy, but again, bottom line, a win tonight, you've got a playoff spot locked in. A win next week, you're going to be at home as the number 1 seed in region champs.
This is Kevin's favorite time of the year. This is my favorite time of the year for 2 different reasons, though. My favorite time of the year is where you're going to get out there and you're playing the region games. Kevin's favorite time of the year is where he gets to do the red string theory where he's like, if this happens and this happens and then this happens, we can have this happen. But if this happens, we're going to swing back over here. And if this team wins, this is going to happen. Kevin's favorite time of the year. I think he's broken down every different algorithm that could potentially happen. But for BC, go out there. You're in the driver's seat. Take care of business.
Certainly, and it's they've been doing that tonight. And, Christian, you wonder sometimes, again, these kids follow things. Social media, you can say, do high school kids know what maybe your average fan does as far as who know? They just know, hey, we're playing Wayne. But I guarantee you most of them know, hey, Wayne's only won 1 game. We've had a week off.
That's
Hearing about it, it's like
that we beat 61-0.
Could you come out and play flat and just be sloppy? Probably still win, but be sloppy. There was no sloppiness in that first half for BC.
No, and that goes to coaching and preparing these guys. And I asked Danny, I was like, hey, do you communicate to them that, like, hey, this if you let the teams you're supposed to be hang around, that's when weird things happen? He's like, absolutely. You tell them that. Don't give them hope. Take it away immediately. And Wayne didn't help themselves at all in the first half, fumbling twice on the first 3 series, but BC took advantage of that.
Never know who's going to drop by here while we're at the half, but
it happens.
But, yeah, I think for BC, take care of business tonight. Certainly did that. Scored early, scored often. I think they had, 4 touchdowns in about 6 plays. Really, here in the first half.
3 and 4, so.
They haven't had very many 7-8 play drives. It's been 3 or 4 plays. Couple of 1-play drives that went to points in the end zone. So it's been efficient, it's been quick, and that defense, again, when you don't have a lot of variation to throw at them, has just pinned their ears back and won a lot of battles at the line of scrimmage.
That said, it's easy to get complacent when that happens, but I haven't seen that from BC in the first half. Everybody's still taking their steps. Eyes are in the right place. And that defensive line is just playing so aggressive. I thought Jaden Houston had a really good first half. I thought Larson Little had a really good first half, just flowing from those linebacker spots. And then when you watch Guyton, he hasn't had that big flash play. He got a good pressure on the quarterback, but he doesn't have that big flash play. But watch him every play. He violently sets that edge and then flows out and makes sure nobody gets around him. So you kind of know what's going to happen, but nobody's gotten complacent and just completely crashed. Everybody's still playing like they might have something tossed over their head or they might have something bounce outside.
Certainly. We are at the half. Huge score for Benedictine, 56. I forgot to say the 50 points for Barnes Restaurant's 50th anniversary tonight, but they got it. $50 for that 50 pieces of chicken, 50 chicken wings, $50. Check them out, Barnes Restaurant, for your next tailgate. We're coming right back here at the half. BC up big here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium at the half, 56-0. Kevin Christian here with you. Cadets dominating this one. Going to see a lot of young guys, maybe a lot of seniors who don't get a lot of playing time there in the second half tonight as well.
Yeah, and a chance for those guys to go out there and put on display what they put on a practice. And I think a lot of these guys could be playing for some schools all around the state of Georgia, but BC such a talented football team. There's not that many snaps to go around. So the biggest goal, like we saw last week, is don't let there be a drop-off. You have a shutout right now, keep it up. And you have an offense that's out there scoring a ton of points, keep it up. I guarantee you those guys who get subbed out are going to be so engaged on the sideline down there, cheering on the guys who work with them in their position groups every week. There's nothing that really gets the team fired up like seeing those guys who bust their butts Monday through Thursday finally get that chance on Friday night. And as the first unit guys, you did your job in the first half to allow them to have potentially a full 2 quarters to go out there and play high school football.
Certainly, and again, a team that you prepare for the run. Again, top 4 teams will make it. Christian, last week we were off, but the Georgia High School Association passed a rule or an amendment, whatever you want to say, that says next year they're going to do it off of power ranking. So you remember that from back in the AAA or the private schools used to do power rankings to determine their playoffs. They're going to do that for every classification, where basically it is, we want the 32 best teams. And I hate to say that because we argue about this in college. I want them, but basically you take the 32 top teams. So your region might get 5 teams in, another region might only get 3, but the 32 best teams in, 1 seed's going to play 32, 2 plays 31, so on and so forth. So it's not a, hey, we're matching up with region this or that. It is, hey, we're the 5 seed. We're going to go play somebody's coming here. We don't know who. It could be anybody, as long as they're obviously in 4A coming around to play.
I don't think any system's perfect. And the one caveat inside of that is the all 8 region champions will be the top 8 seeds. And then see that however you do in the power rankings. But no matter what, if you win your region, you're going to be one of the top 8 seeds. You're going to be hosting a playoff game. Let the crescendo hit there.
Yes,
it does 2 things. It doesn't let teams who potentially don't deserve to be there make it, where we've talked about there's teams that can win 0 games. And I don't want to say it, but that could win 0 games out of region and then somehow win 2 games in the region. They're a 2-8 football team going into the playoffs. That's a realistic possibility for what could happen. And then it gets you to avoid having teams where you're in the second round of the playoffs and you have 2 of the top 4 teams in the state playing against each other because you have a stacked region. That team's maybe a top 5 team in the classification, but they were the 2nd seed, and they have to go in and play against a really good 1 seed. So it makes you avoid those. But I think what it's going to do is it's going to incentivize scheduling easier teams, because the way the system is set right now, starting next year, is they're going to do your record, your region's record, and then your opponent's records and their records against other people's records. It's just all completely record-based. And cool, let's go schedule easy teams so we're 9-1 at the end of the season potentially, or if we lose 3 region games, cool, we're 7-3. And hey, we should absolutely be in the playoffs for a 7-3 football team. I just think it's going to be hard for BC to get the teams in the other regions to say, hey, yeah, we'd love to play a football game against you guys.
We are at the half. BC is up big here at senior night festivities. We're coming right back. This is the Bernard Williams halftime report here on Watch BC Sports.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back here at the half. You see the Wayne County Band marching off the field here at the halftime festivities. Senior night for BC, 56-0. Cadets out in front. We will have a running clock here in the second half. That means change of possession, touchdowns, what have you. It will be a running clock, barring a injury or a called timeout on the field by either team. So Cadets up big, well on the way to staying in first place in region play. And tonight down in the swamps of Waycross, it is 7-7, Perry and Ware County. So that is a big one tonight. BC, of course, goes to Perry next week. Got State Fair going on up there in Perry. So Cadets will go up there next week. That could be huge. If Ware ends up winning, that means Perry has a loss to Ware. BC has beaten Ware. An outright win next week means the Cadets are region champs. A loss doesn't mean you're not region champs if Ware wins tonight. If Perry wins, a loss probably means you're going to be second. At the end of all of that, you'll have the head-to-head over Ware. So those are kind of the scenarios that await the Cadets potentially next week. And then you'll wrap it up against New Hampstead on a Thursday night to end region play. And New Hampstead, a team that struggled here a little bit in 2025. So you feel like the Cadets would be heavily favored in that ball game as well. So a lot still left to play for, and a lot's going to determine where things set up for the postseason by what happens next week in Perry. And we'll go on the road next week and have the ball game for you up at Perry. But BC up big here at the half at 56-0. And we'll see what the Cadets run out there in the second half. But we're coming right back. Bernard Williams halftime report here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue, Savannah. As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as the Cadets have returned from the locker room. As they continue their warm-ups, it will be the Cadets getting the ball first here in the second half, and we'll have a running clock. They honored some folks here at the half and got to see Wayne County with the halftime performance there.
Listen, I know BC has 400 students, and I know about 100 of them are on the sideline for the football games. We got to find like 20 dudes for a band because it just makes the game experience so much better. Wayne County doing a great job in that first half, just keeping everybody engaged, and I just think it is the kind of the hum of high school and college football is just the band in the background. It makes it so much better. I know so many Georgia fans were so annoyed when Alabama came to town because instead of letting the Georgia band play, they had whatever TikTok sound producer there during that night game. Then you see against Kentucky and a couple other games, just let the band play, man. And it just adds so much to the ambiance of the game. And Wayne County is known for their band program. It's unbelievable, and it's just really an honor to have them here tonight.
Absolutely. The Cadets have come out of the locker room. You see, Stephen Cannon, I don't think has thrown a ball yet. You got Amari Burst taking some snaps here off the near sideline.
Yeah, Cole Henderson checking with the photographer, making sure you got some good shots of the touchdown runs.
I see you got a young man, Breck Wilson, number 21. He's warming up down there.
Listen, Breck
Listed
Wilson
as a quarterback, but you also, I know you're going to see Thomas Brennan.
Breck Wilson played second base for the Braves back in the 90s, right?
So a lot of guys would appear the night might be over. Stephen Cannon has still got the helmet on, but again, up 56-0. Christian, I can't imagine you send him back out there just to run a series.
I will say we've seen in this situation before where they'll send Amari out there with the entire first offense. So Steven stays out, but Amari goes in with the rest of the guys. So we'll see what they like to do. But like you said, Stephen Cannon's got his helmet on down there. Maybe that's just so he knows where it is.
Unless you run him off and start running off seniors one at a time and let them get an ovation from the crowd.
Again, last guaranteed home game because, things can go sideways. You can lose to Perry, lose to New Hampstead, and just like last season, you're on the road for the entirety of the playoffs.
A win tonight guarantees you a spot, and that is it. So we'll see. We have not seen A.J. DePhillips or anybody come back up here, and I would imagine they're going to spend the second half down there on the sidelines. There's A.J. He's down on the sideline, so their night from the booth is done. And usually that means you're not going to see a lot of the starters out there.
Well, yeah, Coach Collins is the one who is the head coach for the JV, and he's the one who calls the plays for them. And I asked Danny because we were wondering, is it Fogarty? Who is it? And it's him. It's Collins calling the plays when AJ starts making his way down. So again, we talk about these players getting reps. You wonder if you give him some varsity play calling reps.
Certainly. So Steven's still got the helmet on. We'll see who runs out.
Best set of hair on the team.
Got some good flow.
The players probably mad, like, we can't have that haircut.
That's right. Hey, how come he can get to have the nice lettuce?
He's paid his dues and graduated.
So let's see who will come in and play quarterback for BC on this first series. And again, high school football, you got kind of sometimes a limited roster. You don't want guys just to put the street clothes on. But you see LaDamian Guyton walking around here near side. I doubt he comes back in the ball game. And see Stanley Smart and a couple others who are still in uniform, but I think having a little more fun than they normally would on a Friday night on the sideline.
A lot of them are checking with the photographer right now, being like, all right, show me what you got, and we'll see what we need to add.
Yeah, it looks like a total second unit here on the kickoff team.
That's one you do at halftime because once you start pulling guys, it's hard to get 11 guys out for a special teams unit. I think you're going to have the pair of the JV running backs back there to return it.
You got Dontre Ford and Damari Perry back deep for BC.
And Chris Stokes is just a step ahead of him. Number 32.
He's up on the far hash.
Yep.
So it'll be Herrera kicking it off here for Wayne County. And he will kick it from left to right. We got to wait for the halftime clock to run out. And then once this thing's geared up, the clock will roll throughout this second half. And the official's saying we got to wait. Now they got to reset the clock. And he's kind of throwing his hands out like, what are we doing? He looked up towards the press box, said, we're ready to go.
Oh, and look, Kevin, they hand the headset to Coach Collins.
So here's the kickoff. It's going to go up the left side and going to be picked up at the 3. This is Ford across the 20. Runs into a Wayne County Yellow Jacket, and he'll shove him out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. So Dontre Ford with the return, and the clock's going to roll. And Stephen Cannon runs out with no helmet on to talk to these guys, and Omari Burst's going to get a series here.
And if you look down on the field right now, A.J. DePhillips is standing off the shoulder of Collins. Stephen Cannon with his helmet off. It looks like we got a full backup unit going in there, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't see any point in putting Carlton Hall out there, any of those guys. It will be Caleb Ruiz out there at the left guard. We'll try to call some of these out. And it will be, that's Chris Stokes in the tail of that flex bone. They'll take the snap. This is an end around. This is going to be Stuart Dunn. He'll get across the 25. Look at him go across the 30. Drug him in. And he'll get 6 on first down. It'll be second down and 4.
And Kevin, I'm not going to say I don't expect a drop-off because that's just unrealistic, but I don't expect this to look clunky because this is an entire unit who plays a lot of football together.
Finn Kelly, Ridge Reddick out there on the offensive line.
I mean, really the odd man out is Amari Burse.
And Amari's going to go step back into shotgun. He's got a running back to his right. Takes the snap, inside give.
Counter.
This is Stokes coming across the 35, falls forward. He'll move the chains. BC Brothers moving the chains first down out to the 37.
And that was a great block by Aaron Brown, the sophomore, number 62, just getting out there, leading the way on the counter.
I know right tackle Ridge Reddick's a guy, Christian, you really like, and the amount of snaps you've seen him play. David Ongiri out there, a little underneath screen, and this is going to be caught and tackled at the 38. That is going to be Karan Hall, a junior out there, and he'll get 1. It'll be second down and 9.
Yeah, and just kind of decelerated when he saw the inside linebacker and just laid on his back, said, I'm not going to try to put the shoulder down against that guy. And I think that was a wise business decision.
So they'll go back to the flex bone. Hall, the one receiver, way up top to the right. Burst takes the snap. They'll counter back inside. That's going to be, I believe, Dontre Ford. He'll get maybe 2 up to the 40. And it'll bring up third down and 7.
Dontre Ford, number 25, is on the carry for the cadet.
And here's the thing: you don't want to obviously throw deep, but obviously to just burn the clock, do you let him throw 7 or 8 yards down the field? They'll go 4 wide here. As Omari looks over the 3-man front of Wayne County, he'll take the snap. Omari's going to throw, caught Karan Hall at the 45, and it'll bring up 4th down and 2. And as BC go for it, Danny Britt kind of, I think, frustrated that he caught it and fell down, and they're going to punt the the for the first time tonight.
You want to keep that shutout up on the board, and you don't want to set your second-team defense up with a short field that quick.
So it's going to be John Brenton doing the punting. I was going to say it has been Stephen Cannon as of late, but you certainly aren't going to put him out there on the kick unit. I think BC's short personnel. You see the up back pointing to the line. Either that or they're letting the play clock run down. No, I think and Danny Britt's got to call a timeout. That'll drive you nuts. Running clock. And you have to call a timeout because you didn't have the right personnel out there. And I know this is a young group, Christian, but you work on it and say, hey, kick coverage, let's go.
Well, again, I guarantee you this is what they spent the entire half doing, was getting these special teams units ready to roll, because this is where – and now Danny's probably thinking, 4th and 2, I probably should just daggum gone for it.
Just go for it. But you do want to preserve the shutout.
But, I mean, Danny Britt, special teams coordinator. Is Danny Britt going to yell at Danny Britt?
They're going to punt the football.
And he works on that with Coach Coleman, who's his assistant head coach, and they both share special teams duties. I wonder if he tries to pass that one off on Coach Coleman, or
I think as a coach, you really you get the sense talking not just to the BC coach, but any coach that's in this situation, you're like, hey, you're excited for the young guys who put in the sweat and the grind, get beat on at practice, and then they get a chance to play. You want them to go out there and perform. There's a little roller back to Brenton, who's going to get it off barely, up off the right side, a little shank job, and it's going to take a sideways bounce. It's going to end up being about a 20-yard punt at the most. 14 yards.
Yeah.
And that'll be where the Wayne County Yellow Jackets take over. And Jameer Lee is out there. He'll be your only kind of regular rotation guy, along with, looks like Rasheen Jackson. You got Klein Peter out there. Let's see if we can find some other guys.
Caden Thomas, he's been in there when you've had some injuries. He's a stud.
Connor Rawlings back in there at linebacker. Ibn Powell at one of the corners, one of your seniors. And BC going to shift around on that offense front. New quarterback in here for Wayne. High snap, and they're going to corral it. BC flowing, and look at those maroon helmets flying around. I don't have a number 2 on my roster, who is now in at quarterback for Wayne County.
That's usually how it works. And sometimes you see that, Kevin, if you move a position guy to quarterback and he was wearing a 20 number or something like that, and you get him a new number, and Max Preps doesn't update the rosters.
So out of a shotgun.
Another
Here's a high snap. The ball is loose. It's going to be, couldn't get it. Look at that BC sideline, Christian. They were wanting Powell to pick up the fumble, and he just couldn't get to it before it went out of bounds.
I mean, Houston is laying on the ground right now. Josh Washington and Stanley Smart are losing their minds. This is what we talked about. These guys are so fired up to see these other guys get into the football game. I mean, the engagement is higher than it was in the first half.
They were hoping for a scoop and score maybe, and if you're a senior, like, hey, I get in there, I can pick it up, run it for a touchdown.
Yeah,
You'll be talking about that for a while to come.
The sticks on the opposite side say second down. It should be 3rd and long. And you wonder if they have a new center in there as well, because that's back-to-back high snaps, or is he just like, hey, this guy's taller than the last quarterback? But, I mean, he's lucky it hasn't gone over his head twice. All right, you're a new guy in, third play. You're fired up. You cannot let somebody run past you here. Just play disciplined defense and trust the guys in front of you.
4-man rush upcoming for BC.
You got about a height of difference between Powell and the wide receiver he's guarding, or a foot of difference,
They'll fling it out in the flat, drop by the running back. incomplete, and it's been that kind of night for Wayne County. Pass intended for Nick Bynes.
Clip that, Kevin, about 5'11" with time left in the third quarter. I said we've got about a height of difference out there.
Doubling up the body size.
Yes.
Hayden Hoffman Jr. in there at cornerback. They're going to punt the football. They're going to let this clock run down before they punt it. Try to take every last second off their late running personnel on. Clock's all the way down close to 4 minutes. Here's the punt. A nice high hanging punt, fair catch going to be called for and brought in at the 41-yard line. That is going to be Dontre Ford.
It seems like just a fair catch, but I mean, that's a great job by a young guy going up there, calling the fair catch and preventing probably another 20, 30 yards of field position being switched. That ain't easy. That was a great punt.
So let's see who comes back out here for the Cadets. They're going to put Amari Burst back out there. Again, David Aguirre in at left tackle.
Got Stokes in it back.
Wayne showing some blitz up the middle. Here's the high snap drawn in. Here comes Stokes near side, 45, 50, into the backfield, 40, 35, 30, up the left sideline, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Chris Stokes, 60 yards for a touchdown, and BC continues to roll.
We talk about Carlton Hall blocking a whole lot, but that time it was a wide receiver, Karan Hall, with a pancake block on the outside that sprung that for the touchdown. That could have been about a 10 or 15-yard gain, but it was Hall blocking downfield. Like I said, got the pancake on the corner right there, and Stokes, one of those running backs that they are so pumped and excited about. Danny Britt's scouting report to me was he's very athletic. He's not as fast as some of the guys that we've had. If that's not fast, I don't want to know what fast is.
Yeah. And Thomas Brennan going to kick the extra point here.
He does this for the C team.
And the kick is up, and it is
just
no good. 62-0. Clock continues to roll. We'll just keep it right here. BC football presented by Cash and Carry. Been presenting sponsor all season long. And they'll, of course, be with us next week when we go to Perry. And Ware and Perry locked it up at 7 apiece at last check down in Waycross tonight.
Big touchdown there. Great job by that unit, just springing that. Stokes, an athlete they're excited about. I know this defense now getting ready to go out there. This becomes the fight. Can you keep the shutout on the board?
Perry and Ware tied at 14. (14-14) was 7-7 at last check. Let's see who handles the kickoff. He's going to let Parker Lewis boot one here for BC.
He's been wonderful on the extra points. I mean, that's just kind of, we think back to the beginning of the season now, it was not a foregone conclusion that the extra points were going to go through, but I mean, that's become that way very rapidly, and he's showing the propensity to hit some from 40 yards and longer, so special teams becoming better and better.
He'll put a foot into this one. It will come down at the 6-yard line. And running back to the far side of the field across the 15-20. Oh, somebody got a nice block there at the 25-30 and shoved out of bounds.
Is that Parker?
I think that was Parker Lewis. Saved a touchdown as he shoved Fulmore out of bounds up around the Wayne County. See where they mark it. Going to give him the 46, 47-yard line, so up near midfield.
If there was a chance for Wayne to score, it was right there, but Parker Lewis, the captain for the soccer team, getting out there and just bringing the lumber.
Reed Brennan, senior linebacker, going to be in there for this series.
And I don't know that we're going to get a snap here.
And that might do it for the third. Wayne is obviously in no hurry. And they haven't even come off the sideline. And
I don't think they're going to.
yeah, they're not going to. They'll take it to the fourth quarter. Cadets leading at 62-0. We're coming right back for the fourth quarter here on Watch BC Sports.
Want to make some extra cash just by sitting on your couch? At Cash and Carry in Savannah, Georgia, we buy any car, no matter the condition, and take it right off the road. Just visit the link, enter your car details, and get an instant offer. Cash and Carry, turning cars into cash without leaving your couch.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Christian Gokel, last 7 quarters, Cadets have been up, 123-0.
That'll play.
We'll talk to Danny Britt post-game show and say, Coach, when you outscore them 120-something in 2 ball games, you feel pretty good about what you're doing?
Yeah, and if I was a betting man, I wouldn't count on Wayne and Warner Robins being down this bad for that long.
So 1st and 10 for Wayne County from their own 47. Cadets with the total second unit in there. And maybe a little deeper than that. They'll try to run to the far sideline. Boy, Benedictine just stretching it out. Almost made the tackle. That was number 27. That was Damari Perry making the tackle. I thought 16, Kyrie Richards, a freshman, had a chance to make the tackle and just missed.
He's the one who forced him to the sideline. And then, like you said, BC able to rally. David talked about one of the things they track is how many hats are in the camera shot on huddle at the end of the snap. And that time you had 11 guys flying to the football.
So 2nd down and 11. They still lost a yard. Wayne was not ready. They hike the ball. They come near side and going nowhere. Reed Brennan hit him first, and they'll blow it dead.
And Klein Peter doing a great job setting the edge that time from his linebacker spot.
Half of Wayne's offense was looking back at the sideline when they snapped that football.
I don't know if they made a change to center.
Well, the quarterback was running the play, and you had 3 special skill guys looking at the sideline, totally unaware that the ball was about to get snapped. So 3rd down and 9.
I think at this point, if you're Wayne, you're just trying to cut this distance in half and then go for it on 4th down.
Still a lot of moving around by Wayne, trying to get lined up. Cadets will flip the formation defensively.
Yeah.
Thomas Key, a junior out there at defensive end, number 36.
And Rasheem Jackson, the one calling the plays, communicating. And
BC's coming on a blitz. They'll give it here off the left side, and that will be a nice open field tackle. Oh, he busts out of there. That's going to be a 1st down for Wayne. Tackle made by Reed Brennan and number 31, Powell.
It's funny, Kevin, because we're up here and we can see into the officials' booth, and they're the ones running the clock. There's been a couple of times that the officials on the field have signaled to stop the clock for the downs, and these guys are just laughing at each other. They're like, no,
it's just going to
I
keep going.
don't think we will.
The clock continues to roll. Again, Cadets going deep in the bench here defensively. Carson Granger on that defensive front. Another young guy they're excited about, just a sophomore. Here's the snap. Gibbs going to be inside. Cadets read that perfectly, and right on cue, Carson Granger's there to make the stop on the inside.
And did a great job of just stoning his offensive lineman, creating a pile, and then shedding that guy and making the tackle. That's a great play. He's a good-looking kid. And it's taking so long to get plays in for Wayne. At what point you just go old school and just have the quarterback run over to the coach and then run back in?
They got Granger and Ridge Reddick. Reddick's playing both ways here in the second half. He's at a defensive tackle spot and also playing right tackle on offense. I know those are 2 big young kids, Christian, that Danny Britt has talked a lot about. Coach Fogarty obviously excited to get a couple of those guys another year in the weight room.
I think we'll be talking about the law firm of Granger and Reddick for a long time.
So here's the snap on 2nd down, the handoff to the running back, and we'll get inside the 40. A flag comes out down to the 39 before he's brought down. And I think they might get a hold on Wayne County.
And again, the officials signal to stop the clock, and the clock operator says, no, thank you.
If you're Danny Britt, there was a flag thrown. Do they just pick it up?
I think Danny declined it.
Just
Get
said-
it a third
just give-
down.
yeah. It'd be fourth down, actually. He said, the officials even saying, hey, a running clock. Do you want to take the penalty? I think Danny's going to say, no, just let it be fourth down.
I think it'll be third.
Oh, he's going to back him up. Procedure against Wayne County.
So it'll be second and
They
16.
did stop the clock for all that. That'll back the ball up to the 46 of Benedictine. So it'll be second down and 15 for Wayne County. Everybody in tight. Wayne will move to a pistol formation. And here's the snap. They'll give Taylor that pistol. BC reading it. Well, the ball is out, and it's loose and going to be picked up and recovered by the Cadets. Who comes out of there with it? That is going to be recovered by number 36, Thomas Key. He gets the big fumble recovery. Hey, that's one you'll tell folks about. Hey, I remember it was 0-0 on a Friday night. Popped the ball out, went and got it.
And it was Kleinpeter over there making the play, making the tackle, forcing the running back to the edge. Ball pops out. And like you said, Key, Johnny on the spot.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cadets. And they'll continue here with Amari Burst at quarterback with 7:30 and counting. Also go with Stuart Dunn in the formation. And this is going to be Chris Stokes, who had a 60-yard touchdown run the last time he touched it.
Yeah, Ford in the slot. The way he's staring down Amari, he might be coming in motion. There he goes.
And here he goes. And now they'll check back. And
they're going to reload. Do it again.
The play clock's not even running.
Yeah. I think this is, Kevin, if I had to guess, it's going to be a jet sweep.
Yep, they'll go. Here he comes near side, 40, 35. Spins inside 30, inside to the 27-yard line. Give him a gain of about 14 on first down. That's a BC Brothers movers. Moving the chains, first down.
And so if you want a coaching point for these young guys here in these later stages of the game, listen, Dontre, you're an unbelievable athlete. You got to play the game a little bit, which means you can't just be staring down the quarterback ready to come in motion. You got to act like you're about to run a go route, and then when he sends you in motion, cool. But, I mean, everybody in the stadium could see what was about to happen.
They go under center now out of the flex bone. They'll counter to Ford.
There you go.
Ford comes back here to the near side.
That's
20,
done.
15, 10, 5. No, that's Stuart Dunn. Touchdown. Stuart Dunn, 28 yards. And nobody touched him on that was a simple counter. And I know, Christian, you talked to Danny Brady. He's like, I don't like running up the score. That was football day 101 of the wing tee. Just run a little counter play, and nobody for Wayne County touched him.
Yep, you act like you're going to toss it on the jet sweep, and then you come back underneath to your up back, and that time Stuart Dunn does what he's done a bunch this season, breaks into the open field, and nobody catches him. Great job blocking by the right side of that offensive line, and BC pouring it on.
This is Charlie Albert, freshman, for the point after. That's up and through there, so the young man gets the point after touchdown, and it's 68-0, 69-0. Benedictine will step aside. Clock continues to roll. BC up big here on Watch BC Sports. Presented by Cash and Carry.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. BC up 69-0. Clock continues to roll through the walk back and getting ready for the kickoff. This will be Parker Lewis to kick it off for BC. So offensively, you may not get the ball back. Defensively, Wayne may try to run 3-4 plays and call it. And here's a kick from Lewis up the left hash. Going to come down at the 10. Across the 15, 20, 25, 30. He breaks through. He's got a seam. 50, and he's going to take it all the way back for a touchdown. And there goes the shutout with 4 minutes to go in the ball game. A 90-yard touchdown return by Fulmore for Wayne County, and the Jackets are on the board.
Yeah, it hurts just because of the shutout, but when you have all backups on that unit and you can't get the ball to the end zone, that's what's going to happen.
So now Wayne County will attempt the point after. And this will be Ferrara, who's done a lot of kicking. Or Herrera, excuse me, who's done a lot of kicking for Wayne County tonight. He'll try to punch one through the uprights. And BC trying to get the right personnel for the kick. The point after touchdown. Snap is good. Herrera way through there. Up and good. Boy, he's got a great leg. Sends it out into the tailgate area back there outside the stadium. And clock continues to roll. It's 69-7. Benedictine up over Wayne County. And again, you may get the kickoff off. Maybe 2 plays here, depending on how BC chooses to run this, Christian. And Danny Britt may just say, hey, if we can run 1 play and get the old, hey, don't start the play clock yet kind of thing going, they may just be willing to get out of here as quick as possible.
I wouldn't doubt it, Kevin.
Yeah, Wayne's in no hurry to come kick this ball off either as the clock continues to roll.
But now if you're Mr. Ford or Mr. Perry,
yep,
you want to answer.
And they've got those young men back deep. You know, a lot of young guys getting a chance to play tonight. Tristan Garvin, a freshman out there on the kick unit. Part of that second or third line for BC on the kick coverage. Inside 2 minutes as the clock keeps rolling. And again, the way the clock rolls, by the time you run the offense out there, Christian, you may only get 1 play off. I think Wayne's going to wait as long as they can to kick it.
There you got play clock on. You got 13 seconds, but there you go.
And that one going to come down at the 5. This is going to be Ford. Ford across the 20, works near side 25-30. Got a block 35-40 and slung out of bounds at the 42. A flag comes in.
Yeah, you're going to get a personal foul on Wayne. Took a guy out of bounds and then dumped him. And they're going to stop the clock for that.
They're going to send Amari back out there at quarterback. So no Thomas Brennan tonight. And let's see, they're going to mark it off. Yeah, 15 against dead ball, personal foul against Wayne. That'll put it at the Wayne County 45, 1:17. Clock has stopped. And now certainly if you're the Cadets, 2 plays at the most would be my guess. Maybe only 1 now that they stop the clock.
Yeah, I think the way it goes, 2 more plays.
They'll put the 2 receivers to the left. Play action. Amari's going to keep it. Cut it back inside at the 40. He's got a lane. 35-30 up the left sideline. 25-20 down to the 15. 10 cuts back 5 and touchdown Amari Bruce. 45-yard touchdown run. And now by the time you kick the extra point, that'll do it.
I mean, just unbelievable speed that time from Amari. He beat, 5 different guys on an angle.
And
right
again,
there.
And again, you talk about, are you running up the score? I mean, that was a quarterback keeper that nobody could tackle Amari. So
quarterback keeper, but I think the guys were blocking a little bit harder just because of what happened on that kickoff. And if I'm Danny Britt, I'm saying, hey, do not kick this extra point.
Yeah, just wait. They're going to trot on Jameer Lee late. Well, by the time you get back to set up the kickoff, the game will be over. And the point after, it's not even close. That was, quite honestly, about a half-hearted attempt at an extra point.
Nobody really blocked.
And it'll be 20 seconds. Yeah, by the time you get back up here to line it up, just go shake hands. And that's what the Cadets are going to do. They're not going to try to kick this ball again. So 75-7, Christian Gokel. The Cadets win it in a big, big way. Everybody getting in the end zone. You got in the end zone. I got in the end zone.
I think so.
Tonight we'll chat with Danny Britt coming up on the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. We'll look ahead to Perry next week. Perry in a dogfight with Ware County. They were tied at 14 starting the fourth quarter at last check. So a lot to get to as far as that's concerned, but the Cadets roll big on senior night. We're coming right back. Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show around the corner here on Watch BC Sports.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
75-7, Christian Gokel, our final tonight as we start the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. We'll talk with Danny Britt coming up here in just a little bit. And I will try not to trip over cords and get out of control here up in the press box area. But a lot of scoring tonight, Christian, needless to say. And Stephen Cannon, a huge night offensively along with everybody else. But you start off first, take care of business. You did it in a big way, and now you look ahead to Perry.
Yeah, Kevin, and the biggest thing is you pick up a region win this evening. And, again, it's a Wayne County team that's down, but you came out and did what you needed to do in this game, which is execute, score, gain some confidence, and get some guys some reps that deserve them. And I think any goal that Danny Britt had written down before this one got checked off.
Certainly did. And, again, Christian, the Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game, we name it each and every week. There's about 10 guys you could give it to. I think you give it to Stephen Kennedy. I think he had, 6 touchdowns tonight. Threw one to about everybody you could get it to, ran in for a touchdown. He had obviously a huge night and an efficient night as well.
I think there's a lot of A-pluses to be handed out all around. The guy who stood out to me, and I think each game he's gotten a little bit better, and tonight was his best performance, was Carlton Hall. Your right tackle was unbelievable tonight, and he is becoming a big-time prospect. Georgia Southern starting to speak to him a little bit, but I love the Sun Belt. I think he is a power 4 kind of body right there, and a guy who, like Danny Britt said, had a decision to make last year. First snap of the game against Raven Gap, just explodes his knee. And him and the coaching staff and his parents and the medical staff sat down and said, go one of two ways. You can let this define you, and that's it for your high school career, or we can put in the work and you can be a really good football player. He put in the work, changed his body, lost some weight, put on muscle, and he's becoming a dominant offensive lineman. It's a lot of it is God-given. You can't coach and build to being over 300 pounds and over 6'3".
Right.
That's God-given, but you have to put in work. There's a lot of guys walking around who are 6'3", 300 pounds who aren't great football players. He's becoming a great football player, and I thought tonight he played with an attitude. He set the edge. You go back and watch the tape, a lot of those long runs that you had, he was pancaking somebody, and on all the passes where Steven was able to hit deep, he was controlling that line of scrimmage. So I think Carlton Hall, for me, is the cool vibes player of the game.
Yeah, and again, that offensive line has come a long way since you think back at Colquitt earlier in the season to where they are now. They have gelled and really are firing off the football and playing well, and they're going to need to play well next week, obviously against Perry. You know kind of how they played against Ware and Perry are neck and neck right now in that ball game. So you got to win it in the trenches next week for sure.
Yeah, great job by Coach Fogarty. I think we're just developing this unit, identifying the guys. It's not just, hey, I got my 5 and I'm rolling them out there. He had about 9 to 10 guys who were taking snaps, and then it's taking those guys and moving them to different positions and finding where they work the best. I mean, naturally, you're like, cool, Carlton Hall's this giant dude. Let's move him to the left tackle. They've established we want to run the football, and our best group is with him as a right tackle lined up next to the rest of the guys. That's coaching, and that's development and understanding different guys that you're seeing. This is Coach Fogarty has played and coached college football at a very high level. He knows what good offensive linemen look like, and I think he's finally you're seeing his fingerprints on this offense, and it is a physical, nasty offensive line.
You didn't get the shutout tonight, but defensively when the first unit was in there, it was cheat code. I mean, It was Wayne couldn't get a yard. I mean, it was complete domination by the front 7 tonight.
Yeah, and again, you talk about the X's and O's, Jimmys and Joes. I think you know who the Jimmys and Joes are. If there's one group that has just been consistent throughout the season, it's been your defensive line. And I think it starts with Cam Cody and kind of spreads out from there. He's the superhero, and he's got his sidekicks and Isaac Scott and Gavin Smith, but those sidekicks are very quickly becoming superheroes in their own right. And then Guyton on the outside, again, don't know that he has 2 or 3 sacks on the season, and coming into this year, you're like, cool, he's the next guy up just in that rotation that's seen so many guys go on to the next level, the Holden Sapps and the third Scroggins, and he's come in and he has played as well as you can play at that position. And again, if you're just watching for highlights, you're like, he's not that good. You ask any of these coaches or the coaches who have played against him, they're like, holy smokes, dude.
Yeah.
Slanting, just getting into the backfield so quickly. You basically shut down the center and whatever side of the line of scrimmage he's on. And you only give a team one way to really go. You're not running at Cam Cody. You're not running at him. It's been unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, he's getting double teamed. And as you said, he's never play side. Hardly ever is he play side. It's always backside. You see Danny Britt down there taking pictures with the seniors down here on senior night. They certainly went out last regular season home game with a bang tonight. And again, thanks to tonight's win, they know there's more football to be played. They're in the playoffs. Don't know. Haven't secured anything outside of that other than you're in.
Yes, and that's huge because you know you're going to be in the playoffs and you can start planning out logistically for that. But now there's going to be a battle. I mean, Ware County took you to the wire, and when you were at their place, they're in a dogfight right now with Perry at their place. It's not going to be a cakewalk next week. I think Ware County's up right now, last check, and that would be huge because that'd just be a loss there for Perry. And regardless of what happens next week, kind of puts you in a position where no matter what, you'd be in that 3-way tie. But you're not walking into something easy. And I hope those guys realize that because, like we said, it's 136 to nothing the last 2 weeks. That ain't happening next week.
Yeah, certainly. We'll come back. We'll chat with Danny Britt right here on the Jonathan Dunn postgame show right here on Watch BC Sports.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Welcome back here, Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. Coach Britt joining us here for his postgame chat. And, well, Coach, 75 points to 7 within a whisker on special teams of getting another shutout tonight. But obviously it's senior night. So many things went right in the first half. I think every skill guy you had scored a touchdown. Just talk about coming out and take care of business attitude tonight against a team that's been struggling, got a lot of injuries, young, and a lot of those things compounding, interim coaching staff, and didn't let any of that slow you down tonight.
No. I thought the guys came out and took care of business, and that's what we talked about. Like, you know, you got to understand the situation, understand the team we're playing and where we're at. But the really, really good teams come out and treat it like professionals, and they did. I felt like we did that. I thought offensively we were smooth and moving. Defensively, we were very aggressive, getting after it. Special teams was good. So really, really proud of the ones and the one Bs, I guess you call it. Those guys, the twos that are playing a lot. I thought those guys did a really good job of coming out and being very professional about it for the first half.
And Coach, efficiency tonight, I think the first 4 touchdowns you scored in like 5 or 6 plays. So yes. Obviously it was a mismatch, but you guys were able to be uberly efficient with that.
Yeah, and that's there's something to be said for that truth. Yes, it's obvious mismatch. However, you come out and execute, and it was like you still got to execute the plays. Right. And, and it wasn't like we were just out here running, ISO to do it. We were running our offense, and I thought we did a good job with that. I think Conaway scored the first 2, right? Mm-hmm. Or wasn't how it was. So which I really like how Coach DePhillips is using him right now, and he's kind of grown, and he being has really grown into that role.
I would say speak to that. We're going to talk about things that kind of been different. You guys have had a tight end in the past. I think John Lilly got a few catches here and there, but last 3 weeks, Bennett's really become a weapon in the offense for you guys.
He has. Like I said, he's grown into that role. He's physically looks good. He's big. He can block, but he's way more athletic than what we think. And he's again gotten older, worked really hard. So we're using him more like an H-back or a true wide receiver. I really like what Coach Phillips is doing with him.
Defensively, your front 7 just dominated tonight. Obviously, they were about as vanilla could be offensively. Right. Didn't run a lot of plays, but you guys really took the fight to them and didn't allow them to do much of anything.
Yeah, no, and that's what we should do. And we kind of knew what was happening, and that we could really run a lot of a bare front and just come after it, and that's what we did. And I think they hit a few inside runs that kind of snuck through us, but other than that, they didn't really hit a lick at a snake. So thought the guys played hard and did what they were supposed to do.
Coach, senior night tonight, obviously a great class, but also means some of those seniors that don't get to play tonight a lot got into play a lot tonight on senior night. And boy, I think one thing we noticed, even when, hey, the clock's going to be running the second half, you're going to get 24 minutes to play 24 minutes kind of thing. And the guys really came in and played hard. And you saw some guys that don't get a lot of snaps that have been in your program 3-4 years get a chance to make some plays.
No, and they did. And I'm very proud of them. And, and you're right. Hey, this is your opportunity. And I tell them, it's not their job to worry about the score or worry about running it up. That's my job. And when I make that call, but when they go out there, they're trying to score. They're trying to make a play. They're trying to recover a fumble. And, so a number of those guys, I saw Connor Rawlings make some plays. Of course, he was playing early at linebacker. I saw Reed Brennan making some plays. Eben Powell should have got a fumble recovery over here, but I saw him make a couple of tackles. So, just these guys that, have been worked hard and done a great job for us. And, maybe get some time on special teams, but they don't get any really offensive or defensive reps. Got some tonight, and it was proud for him.
And, Coach, that's something we talked about. He had a chance to get the fumble recovery, and not so much that it didn't happen for him, but the reaction of your guys on the sidelines that are like, hey, they generally are rooting for these guys that don't get to play a lot. They wanted him to get the fumble probably as much as he did when it was all said and done.
No doubt. And they're excited for him and really hoping he could get that. So I wish he would have, but they're proud for him, and that's always fun.
Well, Coach, we talk about check marks that you guys put down when the season starts. You get to check a box off tonight. You will be in the playoffs. Don't know where it will be, so that's one box check. Next week, I think they were tied late Ware and Perry, but either way, it looks like that will be for a region championship if you guys can win it outright next week in Perry. Talk about that challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I told the guys that, that was what we were anticipating at half. At half, I just said, hey, we're pulling the ones, and, next week we will get to go to Perry and in essence, have an opportunity to win a region championship. So, hopefully, I think we'll be ready for that and excited and have a great week.
Well, just a quick update. Apparently, Ware went up a touchdown in the fourth quarter. So it could be a situation where, again, win the game, and there is no doubt you guys will be region champs next week. So talk about that mindset as you go into practice next week.
Yeah, again, it's really no different. We just understand, hey, this is going to be a big game. We knew it would be at the beginning of the year, so we'll go in and really get after it and hopefully go win that thing.
Absolutely, Coach. We appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coach Danny Britt joining us here. Postgame show. Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show after a big win, 75-7 over Wayne County. And again, we'll be up in Perry next week for Perry and Benedictine. And Christian, as you said, if that score holds, as Ware was up late over Perry, scored late, that means next week will be pretty simple. You win, you're the region champion. You lose, still could be the region champion. But it makes things a little more complicated, but it's pretty straight and clear. You win next week, you're going to get a home game in the playoffs, and you'll be region champs.
And I think revenge kind of on the mind, because last year that was Amari Bursa's second start after Stephen Cannon got injured. Went to Wayne, won that football game, came home, and it felt like you kind of snatched defeat from the jaws of victory in that game. I think 31-27 was the final score, but you were this close to 3 or 4 touchdowns in that football game and felt like you kind of gave it away. And I think last year that was when that team kind of noticed, hey, Steven's out, but we're pretty dang good, and we can play with anybody. I mean, Perry's just a couple years removed from a state championship.
Right.
So going into this one, you win this one, you put away any doubt, you guarantee yourself home playoff games and a region title, and that's one of the first things that you have on your goal list when the season starts.
Certainly. So box is starting to get checked. They like to check a couple more next week up in Perry. Remember, join Christian Gokel high noon on Thursdays. You'll have a lot to talk about with Danny Britt for the Danny Britt Show there at Bowtie Barbecue.
I'm going to put this out there, because a lot less questioning about the offensive staff, I think, in the last few weeks. But the invite is still there. I have an extra microphone that just sits on that table. If anybody wants to come and give Coach some advice, you are welcome to.
So join Christian every Thursday at noon with Coach Britt there at Bowtie Barbecue for the Danny Britt Show. Big win for the Cadets tonight on senior night. We'll be in Perry next week for Perry and Benedictine. Looking forward to that. Should be a great ball game next Friday night.
BC 1-0 with Archer in the world.
Yeah.
Archer Fogarty
Archer
in the
Fogarty.
world. BC Cadets undefeated.
Welcome to the
That's
world.
it.
I think he was given a maroon a baby blanket when it was all said and
It's
done.
surprising no one came out 9 pounds.
Well, as is putting his hand in the dirt
Already,
at 2 days old. So congratulations to the Fogarty family for that one as well. We'll see you next week, and Christian will see you Thursday right here on Watch BC Sports.